Hello folks, wherever you're watching all around the world, and welcome to the Cemetery Circuit. We're at the River City of Whanganui. What you're going to see over the next pretty near a whole day is some fantastic motor racing, some fantastic motorbikes, and all the classes we'll show you. There'll be around about 14 or 15, maybe 16 different races, and we'll culminate it with the Robert Holden feature. We'll pit the best against the best on lap times. Around here, it's around about 50 seconds if you're going quickly, and there's plenty of guys going quickly. Let's give you a brief synopsis of what you've got to look forward to in the superbikes. There's 8 points separating the top 3. Sloane Frost, he is the current Suzuki Series champion. He is the current New Zealand Superbike champion. He is the points leader. Tony Rees won here the last 2 years in second place, but the fly in the ointment, in my opinion, could well be Horst Sager from Germany by the way of Liechtenstein. He looked very, very fast at the second round in Manfield, so he's certainly one to look forward to. In the 600s, well, it is all Damon Reeves. He is well and truly in front of that. Expect him to get some heat from Shane Richardson on the Kawasaki. Supermotos, we've got them as well. We've got the Sidecars. We're lucky enough to have 5-time world champion Tim Reeves here once again. And the big story there is that his swinger, Nick Wilkes, couldn't come down here last year. He had a traffic accident while he was staying in Hamilton. They owed it to the promoter, Alan Flee-Willisey, to say, we'll come back this year, we'll compete. So he's there. John Holden from Northern Ireland is there on a 600cc rig. The best of the New Zealand sidecars are here as well. So much to look forward to. But before we go racing, just to give you a taste of what you can expect.
Well, all clear and everything looking so good for the event. Here we are prior to 11 o'clock and we're kicking off 2 very good rounds through practice and qualifiers here this morning in these beautiful conditions, and it's one of the features this year, in fact, that the weather forecast is in our favour, more the fact that it hasn't been too hot coming towards Whanganui in a build up to Christmas anywhere in New Zealand this year, so we've got a better tar seal service this year, not as hot, not as soft, so looking forward to some great conditions here. So it should be one of our best circuits we've ever seen at Whanganui, and Cudge and your team, be proud of that one as we have another superb Suzuki start, and we get underway with our first race with Lindsay Tate and Associates and our post classics to go through turn 1 and get it through. As reminded and saying a special welcome to all of our people out there on the World Wide Web as we watch it loud and proud on Kiwi TV, and see the racing going on out there at the moment with the 47 of Glenn Scatchell to lead them through in the early stages. A man out of Pukirua Bay on that beautiful motor that has smashed, not just beaten lap records, smashed lap records by 5 seconds at Taupo, for example. A post-classic lap record, not beaten by hundreds, tenths or 1 second, beaten by 5 seconds with this man on board, the number 47 hotshot of Glenn Scatchell. So great to see and how well he's going out there. So great work for Glenn on board as he leads the lineup. Look at the advantage he's got out in front already. 47 Scatchy. Glenn Scatchell leads him through nicely, headed by 4. The great Paul Pavlitic back in second place as we head them out as they come down through Suzuki front straight. And it is a very clear and comfortable top 3 on the update at the moment, and the other one to look out for, of course, will be Jay in there as well, but in fact it's Eddie Kattenberg there, the man running second on the points, the number 15 for Eddie Kattenberg, and looking good for the points there at the moment as we take them on. So here we are. Thank you to Nicole and Tash on board. mxt.co.nz, folks. If you've got a smartphone, you don't need an app, you can just go on your Safari or your Google Chrome and go to mxt.co.nz and get live timing in the palm of your hand. As you're watching racing here today, you can see the live timing flashing up before you. So a new feature of Cemetery Circuit, live timing at mxt.co.nz. 47 now, Glenn Scatchell on the beautiful bimotor, pulling a wheelie down the straight, going to 4, Paul Pavlitic, 15, Eddie Kattenberg, 3, Sean Donnelly, and 17, and hard at work out there is Shane Richardson today. He's doing a Whanganui only on the NSR FT570, the Whanganui Armada man, 17, a very busy Shane Richardson, and looking very good for those points at the moment. Tell you what, if you have a look in your program, you'll see the TMF and CC. So you've got Taupo, Manfield and Cemetery Circuit is what they stand for. So riders like Shane Richardson, they're only doing a one-off in this class today. So not serious about points, but they want to be in the glory for a little bit of prize money and more importantly, enjoying New Zealand's Festival of Road Racing and our classic King of Street Circuits right here in the River City of Whanganui. Seven now, there we go, back with Scatchy. He's a man on attack, Glenn Scatchell out with 4, and go Paul. Superman is back, everybody. Mr. Paul Pavlitic on the Pavlitic Racing Academic Audio Pro Rider, Metzler and Fazy Luck, and some lovely Pavlitic Racing t-shirts for the man on the OW01. And there is Paul, unfortunately not able to do the earlier 2 rounds, but he comes back to Whanganui, his first race meeting here since 96, 20 years between drinks, as they say, for the legendary Paul Pavlovich. Welcome back, Pav, nice to see him. And of course with the Superman leathers still on board. The original Superman of New Zealand road racing, and Paul Pavlovich back on that beautiful Yamaha OW01. It is a Japanese import bike, but it's got not an OW01 engine. In fact, it's an FZR engine mounted on board, so it's just made it a little bit more rideable for him. So rather than have a superbike out here, it's more of a production-based engine and a very good racing chassis. So a beautiful bike for the number 4, Paul Pavlovich out there. Superman on the leader letters, back with 15 and Eddie Kattenberg, 3 Sean Donnelly, 17 Shane Richardson going for it on that little bike to 570, and he'll be looking to pick up junior points here today. So I would think probably the best in our junior class, Dean Orchard out there at the moment from Australia, letter O on the Carl Cox Motorsport, Dynoworks, TT Motorcycle supported GSXR 1000, the Australian letter O, and Dean Orchard in flying good form out there at the moment. So nice to see as we go racing. So it's not 0, it is letter O. Courtesy of Carl Cox Motorsport, the biggest, friendliest, politest team you'll find at Suzuki pits. Check them out over in our Suzuki area. Remind, of course, over there a Cancer Society splash station, so splash it on, folks, today. So Cancer Society sunscreen opportunity to put on. Lindsay Tate Associates in our post-classic racing, and we still go to our same top 3, 4, 5, 37, and Jay Lawrence. Almost a moment there for Jay. How did he hold that one? Look out for Jay Lawrence. Must have had a poor start, and he's looking to get up on the inside of Richardson. No, can't do it yet. Can't do it down into turn 1. So Richardson can't do it. Wow. So how are we going to go for the update? I'm going to see, maybe look over here towards Suzuki and see the update that we have, and whether it's been the opportunity to see the 37 go through. And no, can't see it. So late in the race here at the moment, and an opportunity to see whether we have a place change, and all on there at the moment. So Jay Lawrence, where did he come from? A disappointing start by James, top standards. So Jay, remembering he was pole setter, he was fastest qualified, 47, he's your race leader to go through. Out in the lead, well done, all the way through. Second place for Paul Pavlovich on the number 4, 15 Eddie Kattenberg. Oh, he's there, 371 is there. I tell you what, he got both of them, he's got both of them. Jay Lawrence on fire. Jay Lawrence out there, the number 37, Jay Lawrence in scorching hot form at the moment, 371. On the Carl Cox Motorsport, TSS Red Baron Motorcycles, Bridgestone tyres, GSXR 1100, and Jay Lawrence has overtaken 2 of them, both Shane Richardson and Sean Donnelly in that race. As we look out for the 14 to go past then of Wayne Marshall on the AMF boats, Hearsay, Macca Racing, Andrew Johnson Electronics, Paragon Motorcycles, Von Trott Group. I love that one, Von Trott Group. Good on you, Trott Group. Love having your support behind Wayne Weasel Marshall, the original Motard man here at Whanganui. My memory's going right back to Weasel Racing when he first converted his Kawasaki KX motocross bike and put it out here before even Super Motard was invented around the world. He was racing a converted motocross bike here. On the final lap at the moment, looking for our flag. Oh, in fact, we've gone to a red flag. It's come out before the checkered. We've gone to a red flag, and keen to see. Yes, indeed, the flag goes out. I'm pretty sure we'll be calling that race, folks. It'll call back to that previous lap. So the 47 of Glenn Scatchell will take it ahead of the number 4. So we've gone to a red flag stoppage, and that has been just prior to the checkered flag coming out. The rest of them will see the red flag, and they'll be heading straight back to our Suzuki pits on this beautiful Boxing Day here in Whanganui, mainland, North Island, New Zealand. And welcome for wherever you are around the world, because our commentary going out wide on Kiwi TV as people around the world sit back. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, probably a little chilly in your neighbourhood as summer finally arrives, a little bit belated here in New Zealand to join us here today. So there it is, an update of our racing stoppage with a red flag, but hopefully it will be, I would suggest, a declared result as we look out for the 47 of Glenn Scatchell to take the victory. So bring it on with Sketchy, Paul Pavlovich, Eddie Kattenberg, Jay Lawrence, Sean Donnelly, Shane Richardson, Dean Orton and Stephen Clark.
Okay, Neil. I'm in the pits with Tim Reeves. Tim, you're not driving now. You were in the first practice and then you had a bit of a problem. Tell us about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, everything was going really good. We did 4 or 5 laps and was up to pretty good pace. And unfortunately, we've had a catastrophic suspension failure on the front end, and it's damaged the chassis beyond repair, unfortunately. And, yeah, we've tried to straighten it and fix it, and it's just not something we can do safely. So, unfortunately, we've decided to park it up.
You've come a long way just for this, just to be here today to do these races. You'd be very disappointed, won't you? Yeah,
it's racing, isn't it? You know, there's nothing we can do about it. It's no one's fault, is it? And you know, we're just here now. We'll enjoy the weather, and hopefully we'll watch some good racing and have a few beers.
Does this mean you might come back next year?
Well, yeah, I might have to, eh?
Yeah, because you've got a point to prove for Mark.
Yeah, you know, Mark's really gutted. He's actually devastated. You know, he was really looking forward to riding here, and after what happened last year, and yeah, so now unfortunately that's all over, and yeah, we'll be back.
Okay, well done. I've also got here with me John Holden. John, you're on pole.
That's not so bad. It's a good job he packed in, or else we'd have been struggling with that.
This is your first time around here. You're a rookie. You're on pole.
Yeah, it's not so bad, but we need a couple more seconds yet. I'm just covering every corner, making sure that we get round and safe, because if you don't...
Not bad for a granddad.
I'm proud of it. No, it's all good. Love the place, and it'll only get better.
So you've done a lot of circuit racing all over the place, as Tim has. What would you think? What do you tell us? What do you think of this? It's only a little circuit.
Yeah, it's only a little circuit, but there's quite a bit to get out of it. There's, you know, the road's wide, so you can use more than you think you can use, but we've come a long way, and you know, you just got to cover everything that you're not going to end up in.
I'm picking up, might even go into the 48s for the Superbikes Formula 1 Robert Holden, and already a good clean start for most people. There was one person there that stalled on the start line there towards the back of the field, but right now Mark Perry had his first win here at Boxing Day last year. He leads down the back straight into the Suzuki S's on the Aprilia SV 1000, Aprilia 1000, and a local man relatively from Sanson just up the road. He leads into the flower garden, just trying to pick up who that is in the second place. The cameras, the sun's playing tricks on our camera, so we'll do our best to keep you informed. I think looks like a BMW S1000R in third place. In fact, we're going to look out, maybe that is Stephen Leggett, former Whanganui man there on the Aprilia as well. As he goes down into the airbags, loses the front end going into the overhead bridge there. And down in there, in fact, that's another bike gone down in there. I think we're pretty sure we're going to have a red flag for this. Drama already in the Bears race with 2 bikes going, 2 over the front 3. Just first one losing the front end, going into the hay bales. Didn't even catch who the second one. Neil, did you catch that?
No, missed it indeed, Yes, indeed. Thank you, folks. We have got it. The officials are here. It's gone to a red flag. It has gone to a red flag. So just need to make sure that it's a red flag as seen by all of the other competitors. So that'll be the clear part of that. Need to get that red flag out there and wave. So here are courtesy of Q West, Quality Boat Builders of Whanganui, and our red flag to go down there. In fact, it was a classic front wheel slide. In fact, we're looking right at this position where the crash was, and it can see the skid mark right across the ground there. It was a classic front wheel to go out holiday times, or one for you and the adults, whether it be a cruiser, a street bike, a commuter, or a road bike, or if you've decided to get into sport touring, there is an amazing motorcycle for you. New Zealand's cheapest, best, and of course most registered motorcycle sales of any brand in New Zealand. Suzuki, number 1 again, and have been since 1998, now for 18 years, and still heading for number 1 with only a few days left of road registrations for this year. As the lights go out and we get a break on our field as we head down towards Still Shop Corner, and our whole shot first into that first corner and to sweep it wide and take it through there. Our leading contender, and it will be the 87. Yes, he's out there and doing it again. Mr. Mark Perry out of Sanson, the man on the F1 Motorcycle Sport Beluga Kitchens sponsored Aprilia, gets out the front again. Had his win here last year fresh in his memory cells as we track on the 74, and it's Rob Whittle looks to be with him right there on the Aprilia. So Rob Whittle out of the NTB racing team, and of fame more in Pro Twins, but the Englishman in a very good second place there at the moment. So first time we've seen him in Bears racing of this calibre, so look out for the number 74 in a very good second place at the moment with Rob Whittle. But I tell you what, let's go with the 87 of Manawatu's Mark Perry, all round good guy. I've watched him at trail rides this year, at the Tangamoana trail ride. Mark's out there with Craig Sheriffs, so great to see. So going for it at the moment, 87 Mark Perry, 74 for Rob Whittle, 16 to go past Nick Southerwood at this stage. As we look out, they're all coming over the overbridge nicely this time, in the anticipation of with the bad luck that happened last time, 28 out there, and Andy Williams at the moment on the Aprilia SXV 550, and of course Aprilia being a Bears bike, but it is a moto kind of bike, but it's not eligible for our moto class because it's a 550 twin. We have a 450cc S2 limit with our supermoto lineup, so Andy Williams out there riding in our Q West Bears class today. But what a great lineup and a well positioned performance by Mark Perry to lead them ahead of the 74 of Rob Whittle. Great work by the Raglan Surfer, so loving every bit of that, and good work now by Mark as he takes us through Robert Holden, round on to Toyota and along towards our Pirelli overbridge once again. The legend of Mark Perry, and great work out here. Here he goes, 87 Mark Perry. Look at the advantage he's got in the field. Nice work out there with 72 to get right up into there. Tell you what, we're doing some work at the moment. Colin McGregor, and Colin's been a winner. He's been a winner for us at Taupo at leg number 1. He picked up a win as well at Manfield in round number 2. So it's Colin McGregor who's quickly got himself from 5th place straight into 2nd. So some hard work to get through there. Would have been disappointed by a start in the early part of the racing, but now that it winds up, he too has been able to wind up with it and collect a very good 2nd place. A man from Tauranga on the BMW S1000RR. So there we go at the moment, unseating Rob Whittle for the 2nd place. But at the moment, Spider, what a great show for Mark Perry. This man's on fire today.
Yeah, mate, he had a first last year, his first win here. He's had a 2nd place, 2 seconds and a 3rd, 3 thirds, I think, over the years. He's been racing here for, I think 2006 was his first podium, and 2007, and just absolutely enjoying it coming over the overhead bridge. He's already got about a 2-second lead. Colin McGregor sitting there in 2nd place, and we got 49. I think 49 is Jason Barnell, had a massive win at Manfield the other day at Whanganui, the local boy. I thought Colin McGregor would get him there at Manfield, but Jason kept the pin down and won a Bears race at Manfield only 10 days ago. So already, watch him. Jason gets faster and faster. He's now on a BMW S1000R. He was on a Aprilia V-twin for a lot of years and just gets faster and faster as he goes. And lovely man to talk to as well.
All right, keen to look out now with our update for our Q West Boat Builders, proud to sponsor Bears Racing. Bears standing for British, European and American races, and our mix of all of those other great bikes from around the world, with the Japanese domination of so many of the road race events around the world. It drew the initiative to have a Bears class, and here we are with the Italian Aprilia motorcycle, and courtesy advanced paint and panel out there. Mark Perry to lead him, 72.49. Keep your eyes on Jason, he's looking hot. What about the 92 of Ashton Hughes? Ashton Hughes having a fantastic debut year in racing. This is his first time ever at Cemetery Circuit, so he's looking for the a prize for the Virgins Award out there. So Ashton Hughes, folks, a man from Bulls on the Hughes Motors of Greymouth, courtesy Motorcycles Palmerston North, aboard a Triumph Daytona 675R. So look for Ashton trying to cut his way through now. Interestingly, of course, on the bigger tracks of Taupo and Manfield, he's been overshadowed by the bigger, more powerful 1000cc bikes. But in the wet in the first race at Manfield 2 weeks ago, he actually won a race, but he was only forced back to 3rd when the track dried out. But a great rider, look out for him. He'll line up in our Supermoto racing as well, so picking a really good quinella of 2 classes to ride. So a new name on the block, Ashton Hughes, at his first ever Whanganui, and he's back in 4th place. So there's Mark Perry, a race leader. Up to Jason Bardell, then we go to McGregor, and that is Hughes. There he is on a little Triumph, down to 92, and a fast flying run from as well at the moment, so looking to do it out there. But I'll tell you what, Ashton Hughes, Spider, that's a top performance out there. Do you think he can get to number 3?
Oh, it's pretty outstanding. I'll tell you what, Jason Bardell's coming through the pack there, and as he is, he's never going to get into 1st place unless 87 Mark Perry makes a mistake. But Jason Bardell up to 2nd place. This will be good for his points for the Suzuki Series for the Bears class as well. It'll do very, very well as we see Mark Perry going into the Roberts Island for the first, I don't know how many times, for an 8-lap race, I think, here for the Bears, Q West Bears Boat Builders from Whanganui. Absolutely outstanding ride from Mark Perry. We can't quite see the lap times at the moment. Slode Frost owns a lap record here, a 49.799, and that's on a BMW S1000R. White flag coming out, is it? No, that's 1st and 2nd. Sorry, Neil.
2, 3, 4, and no changes there at the moment. Look out for Jason Bardell. He's got on attack by getting back in behind Colin McGregor and pushing it through there. But looking out for Ashton Hughes at the moment. Ashton, will be his first year on the little bike.
A mistake there going into turn 2 onto Taupo Key for Mark Perry. He's a bit unsettled there. Just I think he locked up the front brake a bit, run a bit wide. It hasn't really cost him much time. He's got plenty of time. It just means that he might be a little bit unsettled, and the track is getting hotter already now, and the low 46s, the low 46 temperature for the track temperature here, and the greasy bit coming onto the overbridge, which might have caught those riders out in the first start of the Bears race. So looking out for Mark Perry coming on to He's going to be about Roberts Island at the moment. Going to be about Roberts Island. We'll just go. Here he is. No, he's coming all the way up to the overhead bridge, coming across back markets. Number 313, Kyle Hawkes from Hawera. Formerly, I think he's a Whanganui man. 49, Jason Bardell comes through. 72, Colin McGregor on the BMW. And we've got the white flag out there.
There we go, indeed, one lap to go. White flag is out there. Bears racing courtesy of Q West Boat Builders, and we're on fire at the moment. The 87, looking great. Senson's Mark Perry on the Aprilia, running in second place at this stage will be local man Jason Bardell. I interviewed Jason after his win at Manfield, and it was the most exciting moment of his racing, the first time he'd ever have a victory, and was he excited or what? And I love to see that enthusiasm, and on the home track here today, an outstanding effort. So go Whanganui supporters, getting him behind him. Jason Bardell on the Das Beast supported beautiful bike out there, the BMW S1000RR. So here we go. Here's the 87 to look out for, coming down towards the out of Robert Holden, out of Whanganui Toyota, over the Pirelli overbridge. Go Mark, you beauty! And Mark Perry all the way, folks. Mark Perry to take it, checkered flag, looking for our second, third, fourth, super close through there. Jason Bardell, Colin McGregor and Ashton Hughes at his debut Whanganui street circuit, and he crosses the line in fourth place in our Bears race. I can tell you, folks, if it was wetter this morning, which we don't want, he would have taken a top placing there. So for a first up effort here at Whanganui, that is so good. Got it out to 74 yesterday, courtesy of NTB Racing, Metzler Motul and SBS. A great ride from Rob Whittle. He was up there to do second place at the early part of the race performance. So a nice a ride there from him on his debut in big bike racing and Bears racing in the country. Normally been a small bike performer, he's a pint-sized jockey at the best of times. So an outstanding performance there with the points as well. And Spider's opening up the points for us. Colin McGregor on 94, Nick Southwood, Stephen Leggett, who's had the drop out there. Jason Bardell 73, and so Jason will leapfrog past Stephen McGregor, I think, with that performance and put him up in the top three. But I didn't see where Nick was on those points. What, 11 in front, 12 in front, or thereabouts? He's told me already today, I only want third place, Neil. Third place is good enough. So look for 2 third places. Any better than that's a bonus. But of course, to finish first you've got to finish, and that'll be his ultimate here today. He knew his spot to go straight to there on the grid, so he knew exactly the mark on the ground. Freshly painted. We came here on Monday night for our Cemetery Circuit Committee meeting, final shakedown before the event, where you got so many cool people in the room. The people who are in charge of the dummy grid, the people in charge of the grid, the starter, the finisher, the crash team, the track building team. They're always my favourite ones. Cudge and his guys, Brendan and co, to listen out for the way they're building the track, the design they're putting into it, when enhancements are made every year, just like Lawrence Gooding's talking about, making this circuit better to make a smoother running event. And the work that these guys do with the air fence is just one of their other incredible things. So there's a lot of history behind it. And people here today, I want to have a shout out for Murray Palmer, because Murray's got a bung knee and a bad back, and it's his last time doing crash recovery. And Murray Palmer, you've been here for so many good years, always good for a laugh at the meetings, positive gentleman. And Muzz, your contribution is fantastic. He's a super salesman up there at Harvey Round Motors on Dublin Street. So word out for you there, Murray. Your contribution is amazing, and I'll miss you as a good mate and a fellow passionate motorcyclist. So there you go, one of our hard-working crew retiring at the end of this year, but he'll be here in a wheelchair next year as a spectator. We'll look out for you, Muzz. So there we go, Formula 2 in the Pirelli Super Start to get away on our whole shot corner, proudly presented by Nationwide Accessories. And Pirelli, of course, Mr. Alan Napier, well, he's a Whanganui man. He's got to support this event. After all, he started his parts and accessories work for Coleman's way back in the yesteryears right here in his home city. So welcome back, Alan. Love having you on board, and thanks for your support with Pirelli. Power is nothing without control, as we look out for the 37, getting it in there already, Jay Lawrence, and indeed on the Carl Cox Motorsport GSXR 600. And when it comes to the big track events, maybe he's not quite the Zaz and the Jazz, but I tell you what, bring him back to Whanganui and Spider. Jay Lawrence knows this track backwards.
Oh, he's had quite a few wins here and on Post Classics, amongst other things, Formula 3 on that, but he'll be pressured by Shane Richardson. Shane Richardson takes him up on the inside on the overhead brake. They both almost cross the bails on the side of the airbag. So Shane Richardson absolutely on fire. Fastest qualifier here, so Jay Lawrence is just going to follow him around, I think, but Jay's is about a 2007 or 2008 bike, so it's not the quickest machine out there. Right there, running in second behind the Whanganui joinery mounted Kawasaki. Shane Richardson, I think, in third place. We have Demon Damo Rees from Wakatani on the bright red Honda, the points leader at the moment on the number 5 machine, carrying 101 points. Shane Richardson carrying 89. Rogan Chandler 63, and David Halls was well out there on the 28 machine. Started off the second row of the grid, got a huge wheelie off the start line, and absolutely flying. We're looking out for lap records to be broken today here at the Cemetery Circuit for 2016.
But what about 28 in that overtaking? Shane Richardson on the inside. Incredible to watch as he leads at the moment. 37 from Jay, 5 from Damon. Back there at the moment ahead of the 26 to go through. Sorry, 28 and David Hall. The 96 as well up there now with... 96 of Sam Willisey. What a great qualifying ahead for Pirelli, iPhone, EBC and Suzuki. Sam Willisey, local Whanganui rider, and that was exceptional from him. He's only on the second row. Great performance, huge improvement by him, and he's keeping it up with a very good race result here at the moment as well. So look out and go Whanganui. Proud to have another local at the forefront. But I tell you what, overtaking coming onto the Pirelli overbridge, incredible in its excellence and well perfected by the number 28 of Shane Richardson on that Kawasaki New Zealand Motard, Whanganui, Jnr Wellington Pipelines, Pirelli Microtone, Empire Skate, K-Tech, Dukek Performance, and the list of sponsors goes on for Shane. This man loves street racing, knows it and does it so well. 28, Shane Richardson out in front. 37, go with Jay on the TSS Red Baron Suzuki, and into Demon Damo, back to 28 then with David Hall. 88 now, and Nathaniel DeProse, and for Nathaniel Spider, this is his first Cemetery Circuit as well. He's a rookie here, and yet here he is running third in the series, and he too, like Ashton Hughes, have never been here. Some of our young guns only coming up in their career.
Well set up bike, well set up team. That Nathaniel Diprose got a lap record at some stage last weekend. Demon Damo got it about 4 times. Shane Richardson got it once, and Nathaniel Diprose got a lap record at Manfield. Just shows you how quick this young fella is, and adapting to street races so far damn well. David Hall's had several wins around here on classic bikes, and he's in a good shot there, in 4th place as well on the 28 machine from Te Awamutu. Absolutely legendary, the Hall family in motorcycling world. Shane Richardson got a little bit more, probably 2 bike lengths in that last lap. I don't think anyone's got out pit boards this weekend. There's not enough time to actually put them out, so he's just going to rely, basically wait for the noise behind him and work out when the second place bike, Jay Lawrence, is getting on a bit. 8 years difference between these bikes. The Kawasaki will be the latest model, and the 37 machine of Jay Lawrence, the Carl Cox Motorsport Suzuki, about 2007 or 2008 machine, as they go off into the Suzuki corner there, heading towards the legendary S's. We're watching it on the live screen now. G'day to all those people around the world watching. Sorry about the delay earlier on, but we've got to make things safe in that, and they're going into Robert Holden corner with Richardson, 28, still in the lead.
And in fact, the other update I can give you as well, Spider, and much to our somewhat disappointment but surprise, Rogan Chandler back in 9th place on the number 15. He looked to be one of the hot shots from our qualifier earlier, so he's got some work to do back there in 9th place. So I'd suggest Rogan, not a good start. Something's gone wrong, because that is not the perfection of what we've known so capable from Rogan. So keen to look out there. 88.96, my ride of the race, definitely in the hands of Sam Willisey. Go Whanganui at the moment, top performance out there at this stage.
There it is, Sam Willisey takes him up on the inside, turn 1, the good block pass there, so that's Sam Willisey up into, I think, 5th place there. Outstanding for the man that doesn't do a lot of road racing, and the son of Flea and Julie Willisey, the Cemetery Circuit organisers.
Great to watch as well, Spider, and the fact that was Nathan Diprose, I think that he went up on the inside, and we know how good that he was, so well done to Sam. So hopefully there's a lot of Whanganui people queuing up to give their support to Sam Willisey here today. What a ride, what a race for him at the moment. But hey, I'll tell you what, it's all out in front with the 28 of Shane Richardson. Here he comes over Pirelli Overbridge, pushed along by 37, and Demon Damo. Now Damo doesn't want to do too much, he knows, and there it is, white flag up, so 1 lap to go, and look for Demon Damo. I think he wants a taste of second place. Yes, makes it sticks on the inside, so number 5's gone to second, and that'll just put a buffer in. I thought he was going to settle for those 3rd places. They're enough for him to win the title back in 3rd place, but he says, hey, I can get the better of Jay Lawrence, and he can go up there. I don't think he'll push Shane. He'll wait if there's an opportunity with a lap to go, but it means that instead of losing 5 points on the differential, he'll only lose 3, so that's enough for him to hold on for the day. So that's a much closer position for him, and he'll be very happy to be up into that 2nd place. So good effort there as we look out for the others.
They are coming across lap riders there through the S's there. They go through Roberts Island and then into the next corner, which is the EBC Brakes iPony Oil. We're looking out there. I think the white flag was out, Neil, was it?
Yes, it was, and here we go, 28, you do it, 5, look at that, and he's right behind him in the end. Right, no, in fact, I'm sure, sorry, I did not see, that's a white flag now, sorry. It must have been somebody's handkerchief I saw waving. I thought it was a white flag, but that's the proper white flag up. We'll know that from Brendan. We know by the size of it now. So there's the white flag this time. There's the 96 to go with Sam Willisey. Standout performance there, along with the 88 of Nathan Dipros. The man who had a disappointing start, the TSS Red Baron Motorcycles man, Rogan Chandler there, out of Diamond Design Motor Mail, GD Racing, Denise, Mum and Dad. Rogan Chandler, proud of your performance and going for it at the moment. So there we go. Spider.
Bike down in the S's, but it looks like it's out of the way. The yellow flag is out. The lead bike's going into Robert Island for the first time. Shane Richardson's had a second place here before and a third place. And that'll be a red flag out there now. It will be called as the lap rounds down there. So that's Shane Richardson's first ever win here at the Cemetery Circuit. Was leading for a lot of one of the races.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen.
And Demon Damo got up to second place. It's interesting to see what will be going through his head. He's probably more interested in the points. Got second in the Suzuki Series last year, of course, but he's still interested in winning. Everyone out there when the visor goes down are interested in winning. So what a great Formula 2 race, and the bike down there in the S's at the moment. Didn't quite catch who it was. Try and keep you updated, and don't forget, folks, at the Racecourse Lounge tonight there will be prize giving. I think it starts about 6 o'clock. There will be a meal available, and also the draw for the Suzuki, I think UX110, off prepaid entries into the cemetery, or tickets into the Cemetery Circuit. The 3 rounds of the Suzuki Series this year, the Taupo meeting earlier December, and of course the Manfield. And if you're not there for the draw, the Suzuki New Zealand will advise you within, I think, 6 days of your winning that bike. So
All right, I'm in the pits with Bob Coleman. Bob, you've got a big history in Whanganui. He's selling his book at the Suzuki, outside the Suzuki area. Bob, what's in your book?
It's mainly about the Coleman family, dating back to my father and how he set the business up. Then my history, and then the history of Craig, Alan Nieper, Joe Lett and Richard Scott. It's a very comprehensive book.
Of course, Richard Scott was very fast around here in the mid-80s.
He was and all, yeah. He was good when he was on the Suzuki.
Can you tell us something in your book that's, that's something about yourself that's not in the book, something unprintable, Bob?
Well, it's mainly all in there, I think, but I suppose. But I didn't delve into the private life, and I must say, in those days, we had a lot of fun.
Okay, we're drowned out by a supermoto bike, so I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much, Bob Coleman.
And thank you, Terry Stevenson, drowned out by Supermoto. That's something good. Thank you indeed, Spider, just holding the points for us on 80 points. Duncan Hart, Ashton Hughes, our newcomer, on 68. Richie Dibben on 64 and a half. Scott Dowman on 63. Will Young on 51. John Oliver 46. After that, we fade away a little bit. The news there, of course, Richie Dibben only in third place. I'm sure he'll get his way back to second, but it will take a bit of bad luck by somebody else before he gets back, because unfortunately for the third year in a row, there's been a little bit of a hiccup for Richie along the way. He might be the fastest man here, but he's not always fastest or first in every race, and unfortunately by consistency he doesn't get the front. But he is pole setter here today, and we do want Whanganui to get him behind him, and you'll realise, folks, why it's worthwhile getting behind the Richie Dibben fund and seeing this man go racing, because international experience is only going to make this guy better. And whether he wants to be in behind the likes of a Toby Summers or others that have gone before him that then go to road racing on a street bike will be something. But I tell you what, let's enjoy him while he's in this Supermoto lineup. So an exceptional talent. I expect him to win by a good margin today. So the Whanganui Toyota Boss Engineering Tyre Shield, Q and Honda Kiwi Span, J Williams Jewelers, AME Electrical, Laser Plumbing, Swartz Tyres, Harvey Round Motors, Slippery Finishes, Fastway Whanganui gets going here today. We want to see a real cheer out there. 119 Richie Dibben in hot form. Spider, the Richie Dibben score of results?
He's had 6 wins. 1 second and 1 third place. Duncan Hart's had 3 wins and 3 third place. If Richie Dibben gets a win here, he'll equal my all-time record here of 7 wins, 1 second and 1 third. But off they go for a start into turn 1 there, and it is a 119. He's got about 4 bike lengths maybe going into turn 1. That's a good start for a Super Motard. Always good clean starters at the start of the race here. A lot of them are ex-motocrossers, and always get a good clean start.
119.710 to get out of it as well with Dowman Go. Whanganui 1 and 2. Look at that, Richie Dibbon setting the pace already in the 710, right and behind him there. So quickly for Ben Dowman, looking pretty sharp. And I tell you what, Richie's already out to 8 or 10 bike lengths. Super quick as we go through Suzuki for the first time. 119 with Richie Dibbon out in front, leg out as you love with that Supermoto style. Round through the Robert Holden, heading towards Whanganui Toyota this time. And it's Richie Dibbon making the break on him. And then the 710 to look out to is Whanganui and Ben Dowman putting in some hot form here this year. So here we go with Dibbon. Dowman looking back to 13.74, Duncan Hart 93. He go to 11 out there at the moment. I'll tell you what, our Jnr Snr, he's the man to look out for there. The Cambridge Flyer on the it had gone to a yellow still for an incident down in the still corner from that previous lap. But it all looks to be okay as they stay single file and start to put the drive on as they get past the incident point, and it's still a 119, a 710, 74 of Duncan Hart. He has moved up to third place, so we've seen Jnr Snr. He's been pushed back into fourth, so look for Duncan Hart, the points leader, to get up there on the Yamaha. But it's the local Honda boys setting the pace here in the Edmonds painting Supermoto. But already Spider, that is Richie Dibbon at his best.
Oh, he just put an outstanding show on at Manfield the other day. It was just he was so quick there, and looks like he's dominating it here. Already got maybe a 2-second lead going into the overhead bridge there as we see 119 in second place. 119 is in second place, Richie Dibbon. So I don't know who is out there in first place. It is. No, it says on the screen number 119. There must be a lapper. Great game down in thundering signals there. We used to have two classes of Motard here, up to 450 and over 450 cars, but it's now settled to the up to 450. They are quicker, and right now the lap record for Supermoto sits at 59.62 by Kobe Summers, and that was in 2013. So we can bring you lap record updates as we can during the day. Just going to have a look at that screen, Neil.
Indeed, Spider. Edmonds painting in our Supermoto lineup as we look out for Richie Dibbon. Unfortunately, it's Ant Roundtree, Whanganui Legion Ant Roundtree, that got caught up in that other drama, so he's a little bit further back. So, in fact, he'll be in second at the moment. 119, your race leader. Now looking to second, 710, 74 with Duncan Hart, pushing it hard for the third place. 11 now and Aidan Brown. 13 to go through Scott Dowman. Looking out to Jnr Snr, 57 in there. And Jet still to keep up a good race place. 795 to go fast weight carriers and sports tyres. As we look back in our field, 7 Andrew Rudd, one of our 2 number 7s. And this is a man all the way from Ash Vegas. Ashburton, Big Canterbury on the Dyno Works supporter Honda CRF 450. We go to 12 and Russell Josiah, doing the hard work back in the pack. I see that he's picked it up on the Bike Talk Racing Bellray. Remembering, of course, he's a sponsor of our F3 class here today and a former winner of the Robert Holden Memorial. So great work out there with Russell Josiah in full flight. And unfortunately, the 14 of Aaron Foothead. And bad luck for the Hughes Motors of Graham, Courtesy Motorcycles of Palmerston, all supported Bulls rider Aaron Woodhead back in our field. But there we go with the Richie Dibbon show, showing his huge advantage out there. A 23, 1 lap less, 710 from 74. Ben Dowman, Duncan Hart, 11 to go past Aidan Brown. A 931 and Jnr Snr pushing it hard through there at the moment. Spider, keeping an eye on those lap records today.
Yeah, we're just about 18 thousandths away from the lap record. The lap record is Supermoto 59.962. He's running around his quickest lap at a 59.84, but he's slowed down in the 51, so he knows he's got a bit of a buffer. So it looks like he's not hunting lap records, although if you tell him how close he was in the next race, I'm sure he can have it out there. The day's only going to get warmer and warmer, so great showing there for the lead bike on the track here at the Cemetery Circuit for 2016 Suzuki Series.
All right, Supermoto racing with Edmonds painting, and we're getting hot, and hope you are as well today. The track temperature's warming up, and so is this man, Richie Dibbon, 119. How fast? Look at that, look at the advantage he's got in the field at the moment. Second place is a fortnight back, with that being Ben Dowman. Duncan Hart pushing him hard through there on the Yamaha, ahead of 23, but 1 lap less, 11 to go past Aidan Brown, Jnr Snr. Then with 13 out there, Scott Dowman, older brother of Ben Dowman, who's up into second place, 57 now, with Richard Swain through there, 63, and Jet Josiah, son of Russell Josiah with 007. And Mitch Rowe, the legend of motocross and road racing, on the new Plymouth Motorcycles, Pirelli tyres, Pewterline Oil sponsored, KTM SXF 450, the same bike that he'll be using tomorrow at Summercross as he rides in his beloved motocross event up there at Awakaponga, just outside of the Eastern Bay, plenty town of Whakatane. So Mitch Rowe doing a double header today and racing tomorrow on the same bike.
Yes, I think the lead bikes are coming into Roberts Island, starting to pass the lap at number 14. It's Aaron Woodhead from Bulls there on the RMZ 450. So we're looking out for the lead bike coming towards the overhead bridge at the moment. In fact, has that already disappeared there? 710 by 74, so that's not the lead bike. It is indeed 119 Richard Dibben. I was looking around for Ben Dowman and Duncan Hart there in second and third place. Lap record so close, less than 20 thousandths of a second. But I can tell you the lead bike, Richard Dibben, out there has slowed the pace about 1.5 seconds, running around at a 51.6 at the moment.
Change for second, Spider, change for second out of the second corner. It is, that's BP on the key. It's now 74. Duncan Hart's gone up to second place. A man from Tauranga on the Mimico Ryco Equipment Centre, Endeavour Engineering, Bayride Motorcycles, YZF 450. So Duncan Hart moves into second, so he's split the two Whanganui campaigners, but still Richie Dibben a mile out in front. But the 710, Whanganui's Ben Dowman on the Dowman Contracting Honda CRF 450 has now gone back to third place.
Yeah, in terms of points now, it's 80 at the moment for Duncan Hart. Richard Dibben 64.5. If they finish in this order, the gap will close down, but not substantial. It's all going to go down to the wire in the last race. And we've got to remind this guy, he's so close to lap record. The white flag is out, so close to lap record. There is a possibility, and that could be another scalp to take home here at Whanganui.
Well, I tell you what, there's not likely to be a lap record on this lap. I wouldn't expect it because there's such a freight train of guys that he's already starting to catch up to some of the back markers. So some hard work to do there for Richie Dibben. But come on, Whanganui and Cemetery Circuit, keen for you to put your hands together on this final lap for the 119 of Richie Dibben. Outstanding form from the local man, fresh from his Asia Motard experience in Malaysia last weekend in the Asia Continental FIM racing. And there he goes. Look at that split amongst them here already. And we look out for the checkered flag, and there it is. 119 to come home amongst those back markers already. 74 to go. Hart now the points leader, and he gets the second place. Has he got enough points to take the whole margin? He might have just won the title yet, has he, Spider? Might have just won the title, unsure of that with a race to go. And no, won't be, will it? No, won't be enough points. I don't think so. So, well, there you go. No, not enough points then. We're going to need that last race. So, still a chance yet for the 119 of the Whanganui's Richie Dibben to come through and take the glory on the Whanganui Toyota Boss Engineering Tyre Shields, Q and Honda, Kiwi Span, J Williams Jewelers, Laser Plumbing, Swartz Tyres supported CRF 450. But again, like the Ashley Payne performances and others that have gone before him here today, another Whanganui performance out there. An incredible Edmonds Painting Supermoto racing. So well done in that race result to Richie Dibben, Duncan Hart, Ben Dowman, Jono Hamlin keeping it up there for a very good third place on the Suzuki RMZ 450 with Aidan Brown, he too on the Suzuki. So 2 Hondas, 1 Yamaha and 2 Suzukis in your top 5 with Scott Dowman, Richard Swain, Jet Josiah back there in an 8th place for the Tamarunui man, son of the legendary former Robert Holden winner Russell Josiah, who by the way folks, as one of our sponsors here today, is still racing because indeed we've seen Russell out in the same race. So son beating father, and I'm sure in the Rees family that's still something that's going to happen, and look out for the day that is occurring as well. But well done in Edmonds Painting Supermoto racing like you've not seen before. An incredible win for Richie Dibben in magnificent style. Thank you to Terry Stevenson. Yes indeed, just making sure we've got our ambulance back in position at the moment. That's crucial. Unfortunately here earlier today 3 ambulance calls which put a bit of pressure on the paramedics and our support of the event, but we've had Flea Willisey, a race director, event organiser extraordinaire, up here with us, and Flea with a smile on his face saying how well the day has been going. So thank you all, and great to see. All right folks, you've come for the big ones, and here they are for the first time, and looking forward to this exceptional talent that we've got lined up right here this year, the Suzuki Formula 1. And man oh man, what a formula we've got for you, including the letter H of Horst Zygar, the 94 of Young Mitcheries, the 32 of Dan Ormsby, all the way from Oxford and Canterbury. So nice to have Dan with us. He will be one to feature. And the unfortunate news of his fellow Yamaha pilot and Hayden Fitzgerald. Unfortunately, Hayden had a small injury and breaking a bone in his hand from his crash at Manfield 2 weeks ago. So unfortunately, the likeable New Plymouth man, the son of the legendary Terry Fitzgerald, not with us here today when he was going to introduce the new Yamaha, both the YZF R1 and the R6 today. So our disappointment, as I'm sure certainly he will be as well, for Hayden Fitzgerald out of racing here today. But there you go, on their 1.5 laps, all the classes doing 1.5 laps, gives them real opportunity to get some tyre warmth going there as well. So here they are ready to line up as the starters form up the grid. So they've done their practice qualifier this morning. Tony Rees was the fastest man on the track, so he takes the number 1 position. So look out for the number 11. You see, in fact, a lot of the other guys are slowing up already, knowing that Tony is in behind him, so we'll let him get up there. Here's son Mitch on the 94 bike. And he's a virgin. He's a first-timer here today, folks, Mitch Rees. So 94, if there's one pilot you want to get out and give him a cheer, give him a wave, twirl your hat in the air, it'll be for young Mitchell here today, because what a race. A father and son. A father, a multi-times winner here, and his son, who has already pipped him once and had the privilege of calling racing in Invercargill 4 weeks ago at that Burt Munro Honda Street race, and Mitch beating Dad Tony on the day in some very inclement weather conditions, which certainly helped to lead to that. But a race win is a race win, no matter what the conditions. So we look out for Tony to take that number 1 position, but it is Mitch up there as well. What a special day here for the Rees family. Already youngest son Damon's taken a 2nd place in that Pirelli F2 class. So Spider, father and son on the same start line in the same race. That's incredible.
Yes, we've had a few father-son wins winning over the years, and that we've had one set of grandfather, father and son as well. That's the Holmes family. But it'll be interesting to see whether Damon Rees can get out there. I don't think he's going to go too hard here, but it was spectacular to see his Burt Munro Challenge win as well as they're ready for the first start. Mitch.
Here we go, and away we go, and let's take him as we head down towards Still Shop Corner for the first time. Turn number 1, where Lawrence Gooding was saying before has been one of his special spectator viewing points over the years. I was more of a Robert Holden fan back in the 70s when I was first a spectator here, but you love the circuit no matter where you go. And now they're having the awesome Emmett's Overbridge and other spectator crossing points like the track crossings here. You can now be a real mobile spectator and see so much of the track that's going on as we line them up at the moment. And here we go, the 4 out in front for Scotty. Yes, it is Scott Moyer, the man from Taupo on the Penny Owens Suzuki New Zealand Pro Moto Pirelli AGV bike out in front for Scott. He loves this and he'll be doing it so well as we look out to the 11 of Tony behind him as they go through Robert Holden and heading round towards Toyota for the first time. And look out for the number 4 as we go for it. It is Scott Moyer out in front from 11, Tony Rees back then to 34, and Daniel led him to go. And here we are with the number 1. Keep your eyes on the number 1, Sloane Foster. About 5th or maybe a 6th place as we look to the lineup at the moment. In fact, it is 6th. He's in behind Horst at the moment, remembering how tight the point is. If Tony can win the 2 races today, he's got the bonus point. He could win this by 1 point. That's how close the points are, but he needs those wins. He's not far away from it with Moyer in front at this stage as we look out to those points. 91, 88, 83 for those top 3 riders. That's how close they are. So only 3 points. Sloane Frost in front of Horst Zeiger from Tony Rees. Tony went from being points leader at Taupo to being in 3rd place from Manfield. So, but he's coming to his beloved cemetery circuit here today and looking all the class. It is the number 11 of Tony Rees on the Honda Rider Insurance, Tony Rees Motorcycles, Signage, Derby Accessories bike. Tony out in front, there he goes. 4 in behind him, then with Medim. Looking out for Toby. Tell you what, that's a great race by Toby Summers. Looking out for Toby through there, the number 23, and Toby Summers. And that is a 5th place for Toby here at this stage, so looking good.
What a massive battle going here for the first of the Superbike races here at the Cemetery Circuit. Tony Rees took Scotty Moyer for 1st place into the Flower Garden. I see Dan Medham's moved up, I think, number 34, into 2nd place at, I think it was turn 1, with Scotty Moyer relegated back to 4th. Here comes Horst Zeiger on the Red Devil Racing. Lawrence Day sponsored Kawasaki ZX10, fastest man on the track here 2 years ago, struggled a bit last year, had a crash in one of the races, but he's now in 4th spot there as he looks over his shoulder, and I think that might be maybe Sloane Frost here in 5th, or Tony gets a big tail slide coming out of the Toyota corner. He'll be pushing it, he's already pushing it to the limit with Dan Medham closing in on it. It is Moyer, 8, Horst Zeiger, Toby 22, Toby Summers, Sloane Frost, and that's it. They go into turn 1 here at the Cemetery Circuit. Rees is up for a minute, but I'm expecting a bit more out of Dan Medham. He's had 2 wins here on the 600s, and he showed he can get to grips with this bike. Here comes Scotty Moyer. Scotty Moyer tries up on the inside of the gun, I think the Suzuki corner, but doesn't quite make it there and settles back in there. He's got Horst Zeiger sitting in behind him here on the Superbikes at Formula 1 at Whanganui.
Suzuki racing with the choice of champions and keen to check it out at this stage. Noticing that fight that's going on for that second place. They're actually slowing each other down, I believe, because Tony's now just creeping out there a little bit further. He wasn't fast to qualify for nothing, folks, as they come out of Whanganui Toyota, heading towards the Prowley Overbridge for another great lap. Number 11, and Tony Rees out in front. 34 for Medham, 4 for Moya, H for Horse Saga, 22, and Toby Summers. Go back to the number 1 of Sloane Frost. Has not got all the answers here at the moment. Back in 6th place as we look out for Ray Clee, Jaden Carrick, go Whanganui Toyota, Whanganui Well Drillers, and there's the 32 of Dan Orsley firing it up out there, and the 94 back in there as well of Mitch Rees. We'll look out for Mitch. That is 12th or 13th place out there at the moment. So a great rocking good show to look out for.
About a 1 second off the lap record time. The lap record is a 49.061 by Andrew Stroud back in 2006. So long time. That's 10 years the lap record's held. That's the outright lap record as well. The Robert Holden Memorial 49.081. But right now Tony Rees doesn't need to push it any harder. He'll be able to hear the bikes over his shoulder. Dan Medham's in a battle there with Scotty Moyer, followed by Horse Tiger, Toby Summers on the Thomas machine, and Sloane Frost on the TSS Red Baron Suzuki TSXR 1000. They go down into turn 1, and a bit of argy-bargy happening there. We see 11, Tony Rees. Now when he gets this win there, he'll go to equal of wins in the second place with one of the legends there, all-time legend in the Cemetery Circuit, Craig Sherriss. On a comeback, it's still Craig Sherriss, but we're expecting big things in Tony today. He took 3 wins last year, got the ability to do it today. We're looking out on the track, they're coming out the S's. Tony's already in on the number 11 Honda Rider insurance bike into Roberts Island, named after Robert Holden, where his ashes were interred after his crash in 1996 at the Isle of Man that took his life. 11 comes out there, very, very tiny, very, very mature rider, over the overhead bridge there, Neil.
Indeed he is, and here we are looking at horse into second. Look at that for a group of riders. The 5 of them is awesome. Horse Tiger doing all the good work here. He's gone up from 4th place to 3rd place and now into 2nd. Horse Tiger is incredible. So Tony Rees, Horse Tiger from Daniel Medham back into 3rd. That pushes the earlier race leader in the number 4 of Scott Moyer, running 4th in the series and now 4th in the race. Back into 4th place with Toby Summers, Sloane Frost, Ray Clee, Jaden Carrick, Jamie McDonald and Dan Ormsey. Got to tell you about Mitch Rees in there. We've been watching Mitch every lap, been picking up his results, coming up place by place by place. So look out for Mitch. He's got himself now up into 11th. He was 14th just 3 laps ago. So great work out there by Mitch in his debut year in Superbike road racing in New Zealand on the Tony Rees motorcycle, CBR 1000RR. But it's Super Dad at 49 years of age, the legend, Mr. Tony Rees, out and flying from the front as he goes for the glory. Horse 34-4, 22 by 1. And I tell you what a race out there at the moment for the 22 of Toby Summers, Spider, because Sloane Frost can't get past him.
No, Sloane Frost is struggling to get past him. The white flag is out the last lap. We're going down to Taupo Key. 11, Honda, Tony Rees, legend, 22 wins already here at the 72nd. This will be his 23rd. Horse Tiger's moved up. He went from 4th to 2nd, I think, within 1 lap, and he's starting to get a break on number 34, the young lad from Auckland, Dan Medham. Yellow flag out there. I think that's something at Suzuki or maybe the S's. That won't matter, the race will still finish there because the checkered flag is out, waiting for Tony Rees. Here he comes, coming towards the overhead bridge at the moment. Legendary, 49 years old, Tony Rees, you are the man, you are the family. Horse Tiger takes the 2nd place there with Dan Medham, followed by Scotty Moyer. Toby Summers almost gets 5th place there, 4th place, and Sloane Frost. We go a bit further down the line, and it is 55, Jaden Carrick struggling with bike set up at the moment or something like that. He is on a super stock bike as well, not a Formula 1 bike, and there's 77, Jamie Maindonald on the ex-Craig Sherriss GSXR 1000, another standard bike. 94 is Mitch Rees. There's 87, the winner of the Bears race, Mark Perry there, and 49, Jason Bardell, followed by 81. It's a drag to the line for those two, but Jason Bardell takes it. So what great superbike racing as we look down. Who was that down there?
Can't confirm. I think it could be Daniel Medham, but I'm not going to say.
No, it's not Daniel Medham.
No, it's not.
Daniel
Okay.
Medham went through and took 3rd place, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 30. No,
they've got a timing muck up there. There's 2 34s there, Malcolm Belsky and Dan Medham. So we're not saying it's Malcolm Belsky down there. We cannot see the number of the bike parked up there, but the good thing is the rider pushed to the side and probably picked up the bike. So that's all safe, done and dusted. And Superbike action brought to you by Suzuki, the sponsor of the series, Suzuki.
Thank you to Terry Stevenson, live, loud and proud with Manawatu Sound, your PA specialist here today to up the volume, as it were, for Cemetery Circuit, part of our new rejuvenated in conjunction with Kiwi TV, doing a whole new television package now, new sound system. There's new results servicing, lots of changes in the Cemetery Circuit organisation that goes on throughout the whole year to make this event something special. Of course, third leg now as well of the incredible Suzuki Series, which now has a new home for round number 1, dropping Hampton Downs for the first time in favour of the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park at Taupo, and then on to Manfield, the legendary second leg of this event just down the road at Mighty Manfield. So here we are, the third and final leg to count for points for these guys. F3 Racing, brought to us by Bike Talk. Huge thanks to Russell and the friendliest team at the biggest motorcycle shop in the centre of the North Island in Whanganui, the King Country capital, and you'll love Bike Talk up there. And Russell and Jet all love their motorcycles. So if you want to talk to a team that love their motorcycles as much as you do, then deal with the team, and you'll find, of course, with their lower overheads, they've got better pricing for you, and they do great servicing, everything. A good excuse to go through Whangamomina and go on the Forgotten Highway, or just go out through towards Taupo over the top of the Punga, or even just that favourite road of mine up through to Tikawiti, even round through Waimihar, and roads like that. There's some beautiful motorcycle roads in the centre of the North Island to lead to your all-round shop in the centre of New Zealand. Bike Talk, Yamaha, and Suzuki, of course, for that matter, a way of life, along with Polaris and some other recognised brands like European Gas. You'll find the complete motorcycle shop, Bike Talk Racing. All right, ready to go under starters orders at the moment. When the lights go out, there's 2 of them up, there's 3 of them up, there's 4 of them up, there's 5 of them up, and as soon as they go out, now we're racing on Suzuki, and our F3 class to get away down into our corner. Not called the whole shot for nothing as we lead them through and just peeling it off down through that corner.
Ashley Payne, number 72 from Whanganui, dropped a valve there at Manfield while he was doing so well. Got his bike sorted out, and Ashley Payne's had several wins around here. So the 72 machine in the front, followed by number 2, and I think that's Gavin Veltmeyer from Auckland's getting Scatchel in third spot. Now Glenn's set lap records on every bike he's been on in the Suzuki Series and at every track, so expect him to come on strong. But right now, the hard-charging Whanganui lad, number 72, Ashley Payne, as they lead it into Robert Holden corner. Robert's Island there, Gavin Veltmeyer on the SV650. We've got a 3-cylinder bike out the front, 450cc's. It's a 600 chopped down to 3 cylinders. We've got a V-twin hot SV650 in second place, and a Honda 300cc there in third place. Lee Tidman going in third place on the overhead bridges, scheduled at the moment. And Lee Tidman's on the little RS125. A Honda bike with a big 450 engine squeezed into that. So Lee Tidman, good to see Lee Tidman going to do the New Zealand Superbike Championship as well, Neil Ritchie.
And in fact, he was telling us as well, he's got his race engine back in. It had some problems. He only had the second backup engine. He'd had problems from round number 1, put his backup engine in place. He's got that engine fixed, a blown head gasket, and he's now got his race engine back in. So look for it. And like we saw with Shane Richardson as well, overtaken on the inside of the Pirelli Overbridge Spider. That is incredible to watch and a great performance. Look out from the number 45, Lee Tidman out of Taumarunui. And if it's not good enough to have Bike Talk of Taumarunui sponsoring racing, we've got Lee Tidman up there at the moment.
And he's moved into second place, and right on the tail coming out of Toyota, Tidman following the lead bike, 72 Ashley Payne. He's going to look up on the inside. He's just taken with these. The last one he got to when Glenn Scatchel made a little bit of a mistake. And right now, Lee Tidman from Taumarunui is absolutely on fire. This is a very, very light bike. Expect it to do decent things under braking, but my God, has it got some power.
Well, I was talking to Lee about his favourite engine, Spider, and he was saying he uses the WR 450 engine because it's got a wider gear ratio and he can get the extra performance out of it, but it's also got the electric start, and he just finds that you can't put a kickstart on these bikes because you've got no room with the fairing, so he's got to have the electric start. So it's actually the WR 450 Yamaha engine, and he's got this one on fire at the moment.
Yeah, already he's got a bit of a break over Ashley Payne as they go into Robert's Island there, watching on the big screen. Number, who's that in second place? Sorry, yeah, sorry, that's 72, Ashley Payne, with Gavin Veltmeyer in third place, with Glenn Scatchel there on 47 and fifth place. In fact, Scatchel looks like he's up to third place. Yeah, Scatchel's up to third, pushed Gavin Veltmeyer down. And that's number 19, Richard Markham Barrett on another Speed Junkie machine. This is available in Bears, this bike, so not too sure what the engine is. It could be an Aprilia V-twin, but try it up your date too. 45 there, goes into Robert Island, goes on to turn 2, sorry, we look at the screen. 72 Ashley Payne, 47 Glenn Scatchel in the first of the Superlight races. And have a look at the lap record. The lap record currently sits at 52.137 by Scotty Moyer. 52.137. No, we're running at a 52.9, so 0.8 of a second away from lap record at the moment. Doesn't matter. Lee Titman's got this race under control at the moment.
And although Glenn Scatchell might be known by history to be a very good rider, he's got to get past Ashley Payne on his local circuit. I think what that's going to do is, although we know how good Glenn will be, I think it's going to give this man Lee Titman a bigger breakout in front. So look out for the 72 to hold back the 47, and look out for the racing that's going on. So there it is, the 45 of Lee Titman out in front from Whanganui on the RS 450. In fact, starts his life as a Honda RS 125 Grand Prix bike, but now has the Yamaha WR 450cc single cylinder overhead cam engine on board. So Lee Titman is in a flying good performance to take the glory at this stage. Out in front, ahead of the 72 local man Ashley Payne, courtesy of Tom Ditchley of Penalvitas, and then going to 47 Glenn Scatchell in a very good third place.
Scatchell on fire, he's a full half of a second quicker and the fastest man on the track here at Whanganui for the 2016 first race of the Formula 3 Superlight. So Scatchell is now on fire. He'll get past Ashley Payne, I imagine. We have to look out the screens for that, I guess, until he comes down there, but right now, and then he's going Lee Titman hunting. So Lee's about half a second behind him as well. They're coming across lappers on the overhead bridge there. 45 comes through, Scatchell's there. Scatchell has closed up the gap, and I don't know whether it's due to back markers or just the fact that Scatchell is now on fire and going to the fastest lap there, Neil.
Yeah, indeed. Then go to the two of Gav Veltmeyer on the Coleman Suzuki. Great performance out there. Oh, an overshoot down on the corner. So one of our front runners, just an overshoot. That's why you put that whole overshoot on the end of that Ridgeway Street here. So you go past Wilson Street towards St Hill Street, and it gives you that good overshoot. So okay, and there's Sketchy. Looking sketchy as always, but he tries to get up on the inside. Can't do it at the moment. Past the RST corner, and that is a fine looking ride at the moment. So Sketchy, for the fact that he's been able to go past Ashley Payne, he's now got the number 45 of Lee Titman in sight, and look out for him. He could even be in the lead as he comes up over the top of the Pirelli overhead bridge already. So on attack at the moment, the flying number 47 out with 45. 47, I think he'll have it. 47 looks to have it. Look for 45. 47 on the inside. Sketchy there. There he goes, Glenn Scatchell in front. Then go to Lee Titman. I tell you what, they're almost side by side. 2-stroke versus 4-stroke, multi-cylinder versus a single. So you've got motorcycle engineering there. They are both lightweight bikes as well. You've only got the little 2-stroke 300, which is a 2-cylinder 2-stroke going up against a little single-cylinder 4-stroke. So they'll be light, they'll be maneuverable. They may not have the highest of top speed down the straight, but I tell you what, they'll be able to throw these bikes so nimbly around the demanding corners here at Whanganui's Cemetery Circuit. So great to look out for in the attack of Sketchy and the defence of Lee Titman. Can Titman still hold on for that second place? Sketchy with the advantage at the moment. Glenn Scatchell holds on to the lead with the 45 of Lee Titman, and the buffer opening up already, the buffer there. So looks to be all on at the moment, and there he goes, Spider 47, Glenn Scatchell.
47 on the overhead bridge. I think he's had 3 wins at Whanganui. The white flag comes down. He's on 102 points. He's leading the Formula 3. It's all down to back markers at the moment as he relegated Lee Titman down into second place with Ashley Payne back in third place. But they're coming across back markers. Sad to see Bob Grover here had a crash earlier on today and not competing for the rest of the day. Old Bob's been racing here every year since 1962 with the exception of 2. He's 76 years old. He's so old he buys his calendars by the month. So we wish him a good recovery. He did get into the ambulance himself. Right now looking through to Robert Holden corner. And it is Glenn Scatchell on the iTools Speed Junkie NSR 300. Just dominating this class. It took him a while to get into the front. They lap records at Manfield, lap records at Taupo as well in this class and the Post Classic. Looking at the lap times, we're slowing down a bit. The lap record, I'll come bring you that in a minute, but right now the quickest man on the track is Glenn Scatchell with a waiting for the timing screen, 53.099. 53.099, so close. 52.137 is the lap record held by Scotty Moyer in 2010 on Honda RS 125. So the checkered flag comes out as one bike goes right down there. That's Richard Markham now. The checkered flag is out, done and dusted, and that is Glenn Scatchell. Another fine win for Glenn. That's going to increase his points lead quite well in the hunt for the 2016 Suzuki Series. And what are we looking at? Glenn Scatchell on 110 in the all-time winners list of 3 wins, 1 second.
Spider, he's at almost the perfect. He might have had now his 5th win and 2 poles. He missed out on the pole to Ashley Payne today, so not quite the perfect score, but an almost. So Ashley Payne, some fantastic credit there. Well and truly the points champion. There's been no worry about that. Lee Titman still held that second place. Ashley Payne, go Whanganui for a very good 3rd at the moment. 47, 45, 72, and the update of those top three is where you acknowledge our Bike Talk Racing F3 class. But then in fourth place, it was Gav Veltmeyer on the number 2 from Richard Markham Barrett, ahead of Eddie Kattenberg, Jordan Burley, Dean Bentley, Phil Casey up there, and Cormudge along with Rasil Ashburner. And thank you indeed to Terry Stevenson out and about. Catch up with Terry's update and great motorcycle magazines around the country. Of course, official media rep for Cemetery Circuit as well. So you can go to the Cemetery Circuit. He'll be a busy man at the end of today, putting together great stories along with BikeSportNZ.com. No excuse not to miss out on all the news and views and sport that's going on. Thank you, Terry. All right, sidecar racing with the Collegiate Quality Inn. Quality Inn Collegiate, of course, your official accommodation provider for Cemetery Circuit. Home at 122 Liverpool Street here in Whanganui. Free phone on 0800 942 943. Centrally located to the CBD. Shopping, sporting venues and tourist attraction. Serviced studio hotel units with air conditioning, tea, coffee making facilities, service studio and 1-bedroom motel rooms with various sleeping configurations as well. All rooms have kitchen facilities. Free internet available as well. Great dining and on-site bar and cafe on the premises. 2 conference rooms, the spa pool, the mini gym, you name it. Groups are most welcome. Number 1 accommodation provider right here in Whanganui, Quality Inn. While we're on the page as well, Paragon Motorcycles, Kawasaki, Yamaha, Husqvarna Motorcycles here still on Wilson Street in Whanganui, and Bike Trans, your most experienced nationwide motorcycle transport service. And a quick one for the Cameron Jones Injured Riders Trust, where you've got a Kiwi Bank account number and can give to that, or you can inquiries at Cameron Jones Trust at vodafone.co.nz, and keep supporting young riders and others who've been less fortunate than ourselves. And it's a great trust administered by some quality people putting it back to motorcycle. Give to the Injured Riders Fund and support the riders here today. Thank you.
Yeah, don't give to the Cancer Society. They only spend their money on drugs. Sidecar action, and it's a long time since we've seen a 600 Formula 2 bike out there on pole position. You can choose which side pole is. Normally pole is the outside for the sidecars, but John Holden twice Isle of Man TT winner this year with Robbie Shorter sitting on the back for him, ready to start. The 5 lights are on, we're ready to go. All right, a good clean start. Holden gets a bit of a whole shot there, but the big Formula 1 bike maybe of Adam Unsworth and Stu Dawes takes it into turn 1 there, Neil Ritchie though. Yeah.
What a great start indeed. Yes, indeed. Nice to see the boys back. The last time we saw these guys with their sidecar was almost rolled. It was completely on its edge after they'd crashed at Taupo at round number 1. They didn't come to Manfield 2 weeks ago, so they missed out on points from these legs. So their points will be next to nothing, but we know them as Whanganui heroes, so look out for the Adam and Stu show back here on that 1988 model Windle. So it's a long time in the making, but it's still a classic. And these guys love the fact that they can run with the world's best sidecar manufacturers right here at their beloved Cemetery Circuit on the Boss Engineering, Quality and Collegiate sign and engraving. NI Oils supported Windle 1000. So there it is, the Adam Unsworth Stu Dawes. Come on, sidecar fans, you wait all year for this. You won't find it at too many other racetracks around the country, but you'll find it here at Cemetery Circuit. Sidecar racing, 12 to go. Putting his hand out as he goes through the letter J out there. In fine form with 2-time Isle of Man winner John Holden and his super swinger Kiwi legend Robbie Shorter in there. On the Barnes Racing Silicon Engineering Bayride Motorcycles, TD Kiwi sponsored the 600. And a Spider, you would think in fact that a 600 would be far too small a bike to be racing around here, but the guys reckon it's the ultimate weapon.
Well, we've already seen the front end of Tim Reeves and Mark Wilkes' bike fold up under pressure. These LCRs and the windows it's tough for Whanganui around. The good short bike, the thing's lighter and it's available to brake a little bit later, and that and the experience of John Holden with Robbie Shorter. Robbie Shorter got 2 11ths in the TT over the last 2, in fact 3 11th positions. As I say, John Holden, he's now retired, but he's now retired from life, but still out there racing sidecars. He got 2 wins, and I think he can get through to the front. He's just got to follow and work out where he can get past the superior horse bike as they come to the overhead bridge. Beautiful, number 12, Boss Engineering sponsored machine. A new helmet there for Adam Unsworth after erected. 72 there in 3rd place. 72 there in 3rd place, and this is Barry. Sorry? 73 in 3rd place. Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. 94 points for John Holden and Robbie Shorter in the series. 94 points for Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. Richard and Chris Lawrence here on 74. Peter Goodwin and Kendall Dublin on 74 as well. They're not competing this weekend here at Whanganui. So
and another F2 bike as well, Spider. So this is what Barry said. He was feeling more comfortable being on the shorter bike, an F2 bike in the racing as well. So great to see. So but there you go. Not just the letter J on its own as an F2 sidecar, but the great Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. Tracy, the biggest, busiest swinger here today because she's doing F1 and the classic sidecars as well. The Whanganui Princess in and Tracy Bryan out there doing all the good work for swinging in third place. So come on, Whanganui, get him behind him. 12 in front, then go to the J. Oh, and there it is. Johnny got up onto the wheel, and talk about run your wheel along the ground. He had the inside sidecar wheel over the top of the blue and white ripple strip up here on the Pirelli overbridge, and gave the machine a bit of a wobble, but they quickly corrected it and set their path on for a very good second place at the moment. And I tell you what, it's going to be a hard job, Spider, trying to get past the 12 of Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr.
Well, it looks like Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr had a bit of a break there. We go back to third place, 17. Spike Taylor with Craig Pedersen stepping up from... Normally gets lapped here at Whanganui. Now he's in with the big boys and that. And oh mate, he's done such a good job at pasturing at the last 2 rounds. He fell off at Taupo. That happens when you start with the big boys, and he's now hanging on there in third place, on the 17 Mobility Wire Rapid sponsor machine. They're coming out of the Toyota corner. Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr already had a few wins round Whanganui, this team there. 6 wins each over the years. John Holden closing in on him with Robbie Shorter doing the thing. This is not a slow bike in second place, but it is absolutely hard to get past that bike out in the front. There you go back there. The Lawrence brothers there, their 22nd year here, racing at Whanganui in 5th place at the moment. Corey Winter and Kyron Whittam, nephew of the legendary Ray Whittam, commentator, come over the overhead bridge on the number 14 machine. And I think that's Gary Macefield there from the Raceworks on the number 12 bike, followed by my brother Ian Staples, 92. With the passenger doing a good job there this weekend. It's I think the last time he raced here at Whanganui, my brother did, was back in 1990 there. 1990. Wow. Gone car racing, but he's gone back to the real world in a beautiful engineered machine as well, the number 92 bike.
I understand he's holding his future son-in-law at Renson there as a swinger as well, Spider. Well,
yeah, I believe that's something to do with it.
Yeah. Well, that's the story we make of it anyway, so well done. Get your son-in-law on board and throw him onto the seat and see how good he is. James O'Donnell, a very good ex-Whanganui motocross rider, supercross rider for that matter, so some good memory of young James, so good on him with his potential father-in-law. I don't want to set anything up there, but you get the idea. If you're ever going to get to know the father-in-law better, then go sidecar racing with him and be his real mate. So there you go. Well done to Ian Staples out there, of course, brother of our own Spider, Graham Staples here. 84 out there. The great effort of Corey and Kieran, another Whanganui double on there. F2 bike as well with the 92 we've been talking about here of Ian. But I tell you what, the 13 and J's where the battle is. And look out as well, because we've got the challenger behind him. As we see the 11 of Chris and Richie Lawrence, and are putting all the pressure on the 73. Then, of course, of Barry and Tracy. So keen to watch out for that one. Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan out of T-Pookie and Tauranga, respectively, on the Carl Cox Motorsport, AM Design, Motor City, Suzuki M2 Racing, supported F2 sidecar as well. So great to watch. And amongst all of that, look at this battle. Look at the battle coming right down to next to nothing. 2 car lengths, 2 sidecar lengths, nothing between them as the battle goes on. And the 17 tucked in third place is Spike Taylor.
Yeah, I just want to mention out the number 67 team, David MacArthur and Tony New is for sale. They're upgrading their bike, so if you want a reasonably competitive sidecar, the number 67 machine, Tony MacArthur and Tony New there is for sale. As is this 84 bike, Corey Winter and Kyron Williams. They've decided they're going Formula 1 racing, and I wish them well on that. They've got, this team got a third. Well, not the same team. Tim Shepherd was actually got a third here a couple of years ago against all the open bikes. The Aprilia V-twin, not the fastest thing on the track. The number 92 bike, Ian Staples and Jamie O'Donnell, another fine lap there. Looking out for the lead bikes. They should be coming around the Robert Tile at the moment. They are. There's only 2 bike lengths in it. One wonders whether John Holden has got it sorted on where to pass this Formula 1 machine, but I think it's Formula. He tries up to looking around on the outside, tries up on the inside maybe. No, 3 to 4 bike lengths in it. Looking out. This is the last lap of the sidecar races here at Whanganui, sponsored by Collegiate Motor Inn there. Collegiate Motor Inn, Michael Hoss owns it, former Whanganui sidecar racer as well. So good to see him back behind the sport and support the sponsors and support us. So the last lap is on. We're looking out at, I think, turn 2 there. Turn 2, yes, the number 12 machine in the front there. They're going on towards the Suzuki corner, across the railway line. Flip-flop there. It's going to be number 12 all the way, I think. In fact, he's increased his lead there by about 6 bike lengths now. It was about 3 before. It's now, they are coming across. Maybe this is John Holden's charge to nip up on the inside, nip up on the outside. Remember, 1000cc versus 600cc. And they're coming out of the Toyota corner for the final lap here. The first sidecar race of the day. 84, Corey Winter and Kyron Whittam. 67, Dave MacArthur, Tony New. Here we go, 12, Boss Engineering sponsor machine. And they go and take their 7th win, this team, at Whanganui, with John Holden and Robbie Shorter in second spot. So that'll move Unsworth and Dorr up to, they'll go right up to about 46th place from the 56th place, so another 10 spots for them and the all-time winners of Whanganui. That's all time for everybody, you know, so great sidecar action there, Neil.
Indeed it was, courtesy of Boss Engineering, Quality and Collegiate, their sponsors and our sponsors as well, Signs and Engraving and Any Oils. That is the Auckland combination, Adam and Stu. Love them to bits and so much respect. These guys, they dress well, present themselves well. This is a 1988 sidecar, folks. We've been round a year or three coming up to our 30th anniversary, and these guys still can make this machine go so well, competing up against the mega, I won't call them Mega Million, but you get the idea, a lot more expensive motorcycles of world class, and these guys can still make this bike perform at the highest calibre. And their engine, when we last heard, was in fact an early 2000 model Honda, so a bike that's well over 10 years as well. The engine, I should say, let alone the window chassis on board. You got the Anderson chassis with the Chris and Richie Lawrence crew, of course. You got the awesome F2 build for Barry and Tracy back in there, and of course the fantastic LCR. This is a special short bike edition.
And you support some of the industry too, some of the riders and some of the series.
Yeah, we help out where we can. We certainly don't have millions of dollars to throw at it, but Mitch Reese is one of our sponsored riders because he does a lot of our dirt bike tests, and now he's moved over to the road side of things. We're helping him there as well, so it's great to see him out there giving his father a bit of a hurry up.
All right, thanks Paul Lance from Bike Rider, Dirt Rider Down Under. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Terry, and thank you out there as we just get our classics coming up towards the line. Delighted to be joined up here in the podium, or I suppose the scaffolding today, courtesy of Scarpet by Dylan Telford. First of all, Dylan, congratulations on the deal you've secured for next year. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, hey everyone, we're off to race in Italy next season for KRT Racing and the National CIV Trophy. First time racing internationally. We went there in October for a test and our lap times were inside the top 10 on our first day of practice, so it was all looking really good. So now we're on the massive fundraising mission.
Yeah, indeed. All right. How can people get in behind you to support you overseas?
You can follow us on our TR20 Facebook page, or you can come see us next to Horsager's pit. We've got a stand set up with T-shirts and raffle tickets and a whole lot of stuff, so come check it out.
Right, and the bike you'll be riding next year?
Luckily I got my hands on a 2017 RSV4 Factory. It's a works bike, so it's not a production bike. It's pretty special, and yeah, we're very lucky to get our hands on it with the backing from Aprilia themselves.
All right, so after you've won over there next year, you'll be able to come back and race Boxing Day next year?
Well, that is the plan. We were going to race this year, but with the plans to go to Italy, we've had to put that aside, but I definitely want to come race here next year, that's for sure.
All right, is it hard to be a spectator?
Oh, definitely, but we're helping a couple of young guys out today, so it's quite rewarding as well, and I love being around the racing, so.
You have been all your life, Dylan. Well done. TR20, is that it?
Yeah, TR20, that's me. Look me up on Facebook.
Thank you very much.
And his dad's had 2 wins around here at Whanganui. How's Horse Saiga going? You got into second place. Is he getting a bit more grips with the track at the moment? Horse Saiga, you're pitting next to him.
Yeah, he's looking like he's getting a feel for the track now, and looking forward to seeing how he goes in this last race. And
all right, sorry mate. Classics out there. Rogan Chandler on 355, followed by David Hall on 28. Vince Burrell 203. So Norton followed by, I think it's a Triumph frame with the Norton engine in, and Vince Burrell on the Motor Guzzi there in 3rd place. I'm hoping to see the letter D, Michael Dunlop, out here. There is a Banks Norton prepared for him. Not sure whether he's actually running it at the moment. But Rogan Chandler already got about 6 bike lengths as he comes out of Roberts Island there and heads into Toyota Corner for the first lap here of the C Classics. Brought to you by ABK Refrigeration and Air Conditioning in Whanganui here. Andrew Kidd as well being out there. 28, David Hall in 2nd place, 203. Vince Burrell didn't quite catch who that was in 3rd place. The mighty Blackadder, 69. Williamson is out there too.
Well, just taking an opportunity again to be back here with Dylan Telford as we watch our classics going around. Spider's got an eye on that race. We're still back here with Dylan. First of all, Dylan, what are your first memories here at Whanganui?
We got a bike down coming out of the overhead bridge there, lying right on the middle of the track. Can't quite see where the rider is, but a bike down there, one of the further down the field bikes. So expect. In fact, we've got a red flag situation, a red flag. That would have been a take slapper. I think that's that rigid machine from maybe Upper Hutt. But don't quote me on that at the moment. We'll wait till the bike picked up and see it. So the rider is in towards the airbags. The rider looks to be moving around. So the marshal's wandering up there. The red flag is out. So we've got a red flag situation for the ABK machine. Dylan, just one question before I interrupt you. You've also got a motorcycle for sale as well to help your fun getting over there.
Yes, we've got a 2012 Aprilia RSV4 factory up for sale. It's 16k or near offer. So it's a really good bike for anyone that wants to have a look at it. It's down next to our pit, next to Horses again, so come check it out.
All right, well, of course, we know that Dad was a real Aprilia fan and had some wins around here on Aprilia. What made you align with that market bike as well, Dylan?
Well, I guess just being brought up around Aprilia, it's just that passion that runs in the family, and I'm really passionate about the brand, and that's the thing the Italians really liked about me as well, was the fact that I was very loyal to the brand.
Right, we're looking out there for a restart of the classic race there. I think it was number 231, which is not in our program, that went down. Massive tank slapper on the overhead bridge here, coming out there and ended up in the middle of the track. 355, Rogan Chandler on the inside, followed by 28, David Hall. 203, Vince Fold. It is David Hall gets a whole shot there. Massive wheelie in the 600 brace, but off his start when he was competing in that, but now he had a small one there and leads off the thing, although I think Vince Burrell's got him. Vince Burrell's got him, and David Hall tries on the inside with Rogan Chandler in there on the 355 Norton Commando.
Jamie Galway fourth.
And Jamie Galway there. I think that's David Hall on 69 in fourth place, so maybe Jamie Galway's in fifth there. We'll have to have a look there. Yep, Jamie Galway's in fifth place. He had a win here last year, 2 years ago, was it? Last year in the Bears racing. Different sort of class. This is the classics class out here, so great to see. They go into Roberts Island, they come in around the Toyota corner. And Motor Guzzi rider Vince Burrell, his father's ridden here as well. His father was way back there. He got a second place. Vince has had a second and a third, but right now he leads on the 203. Motor Guzzi with Logan Chandler hot on his tail there. Be interesting to see how the lap record's held by Guy Martin at the moment. Guy Martin, in fact, no, Peter Tanner took it last year at a 55.771. Peter Tanner, Guy Martin got it both years when he was here, but Peter Tanner pipped him last year on a 55.771. In fact, yeah, that was in 2015 on the Manx Norton. Twin cylinder bikes out in the front though. Twin cylinder bikes in the Class V. Twin Motor Guzzi shaft drive there. Norton Commando there in second place under the hands of the current New Zealand Superbike champion in the 125 class, Rogan Chandler. Expect him to do well in the Nationals on a 675 Triumph, as well as he's riding here at the Cemetery Circuit in 2016. All eyes out there on the tighter corner. It's tight racing for classic racing, very, very tight racing. It is Burrell coming to the overhead bridge. Chandler, I think, is moving up there a little bit closer, but don't discount David Hall. David Hall can be on fire around. In fact, David Hall grunted the airbags coming down towards the start-finish line here at Whanganui. They go into turn one. It is Burrell. A bike length separates first and second. 2 bike lengths between second and third. David Hall is using all the road there on the 28 machine, doing 2 classes today as they come out there onto Taupo Key going towards the Suzuki corner. All matched for speed down here. You've got Motor Guzzi, Norton, and I'm pretty sure that's a Norton with David Hall. In fact, it is. It's a Norton Dobby Developments Trevor Hall motorcycle sponsor machine there in third place. Hall closes up there, tries up on the inside through the S's. Mate, that's a move. That's about as risky as it. High-fiving Edward Scissorhands through there, but he didn't get through there. And now Rogan Chandler's trying up on the inside of 203. The Guzzi, no, the Guzzi takes the front line with David Hall, I think, round the outside there, Neil Ritchie, as they're coming towards the overhead bridge.
I'll tell you what, this one's going to be any of these 3 riders. How good is this? Vince Burrell out in front from 355 back to the 28 as they go racing at the moment. Rogan Chandler down to do it now. He tried to get in on the inside of Vince last time. Here he goes, he have another go. Watch on the inside of the still corner. Has he got it this time in under braking? Yes, through there beautifully. So there you go, the 355, the Wellington 19-year-old Rogan Chandler. I'll tell you what, that bike was a classic when he was born, let alone the fact before his mother was even born for the machine. So Rogan Chandler, what a great performance on that Norton Commando, the TSS Red Baron, Diamond Design Motor Mail, GD Racing, Bell, Denise, Mum and Dad supported rider. Rogan Chandler, the 19-year-old Wellington ace, has taken it into the lead. And now ABK, your advanced building comfort, refrigeration, electrical and air conditioning engineers at home at 205 Guyton Street here in the River City. Proud to be behind the racing. Of course, Mr. ABK himself is out there having a good ride on the 163 Andy Kidd. So good on you, ABK. Nice to have you on board with us. Bob Northrop out there on his Norton Commando. And he goes
34 years since Bob Northrop's ridden here. 34 years since he's ridden here. I remember seeing him in a pub in 1981, and he was running, just got out of the motorcycle news. I want to talk bikes, I'm over bikes, and said, I saw you crash on the overhead bridge. We talked bikes all night that night. So Bob Northrop used to do it with Pete Bonner. So great racing out there front. Rogan Chandler, I think Rogan Chandler on the 355 bikes back in the front, yes indeed. And the battle is on for second place. 203 Vince Burrell from Hawke's Bay, the Burrell Signs machine there, looking for his first win of the cemetery circuit. Rogan's also looking for his first win, got a second last year on the same machine, also had a crash down at turn 2 in the nasty pothole later on in the day, but definitely they're coming across 2-3-4, the back marker of Bob Northrop that I just mentioned there, into Roberts Island, out of Roberts Island there, and into the Toyota corner. They'll come into the side of the commentary box. We're on the inside of the track on the overhead bridge. We can see a reasonable amount of the track. We've got the screen in front of us. We are trying to commentate for the international viewers and the local viewers as well. So Chandler gets a break, Chandler gets a break, and he's got maybe 60-70 metres there over and above second place, which is 203 Vince Burrell. So a 56.886 for Rogan Chandler on the last lap. The lap record's 55.771. Unfortunately, the timing doesn't show us the quickest lap there, so we just got to keep an eye on it. There goes Colin Tate, number 101. He's had about 8 or 10 wins round here, Colin Tate, I think, over the years. In fact, there we go, 8 wins, 2 seconds and 1 third place there. The 101 machine, the Colin Tate Engineering sponsor machine. 43, a nice looking Honda, but not in our program, so I'm not too sure who that is. But
it's a bloke called Dan Nicholson. Dan came and had a bit of a play in Superbike road racing, decided it with his young family and his new fledgling business, Highway Tyres, that he would get onto a smaller bike, and that's a classic Honda 500 as well. Very few of those around, so he'll be enjoying it. So Dan Nicholson's his name. Get used to that name, folks. An all-round good guy as well. 355 to look out for. Rogan Chandler in the lead. 20. Oh, David Hall. Hall's moved up. David's got it. David Hall moves up. That's Vince Burrell. Has gone back now to third place, the earlier race leader. So 203. Vince Burrell out of Moto Kiwi, KSR Engineering, Redline Oils, and of course Burrell Signs, and he's taken that bike back to third place, because now we've had the 28 of Tawamutu Norton pilot David Hall on the Dommy Development Trevor Hall Motorcycles, Norton to get up into second place. So Norton all the way with the top performance out there, and Vince back on the Guzzi. So nice performance. Those top 3 all deserving the credits as we check out our 163 at the moment with ABK in the team down there on Guided Street. And here we go with Dan Nicholson we were talking about before. Update on your program to join this classic class today. So here we are checking it out at the moment. 355 and Rogan Chandler, the 19-year-old hero, at the back of this group as he comes down. And here we are coming down towards the update. He'll get the white flag out there. Yes, he does. David Hall now under Vince. Now Vince on that Guzzi, and Vince for some reason has just lost a little bit there. I'm wondering whether there's a sign of overheating or a tyre or brake problem, Spider, because that seems unusual for Vince, that all of a sudden now that David Hall's gone past, he just seems to have let him blown away, and those at the buffer now, the greatest it's been, first to second, second back to third. Not that tight trio we'd watched with excitement earlier in the race.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Vince Burrell had some problems down the South Island, did the Burtman Road Challenge and the Timaru Classic Festival, and had some brake problems down there. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe he just let David go and thinking, right, I'll just conserve my energy for the third race. I'm not going to catch him. He's about 0.8 of a second quicker on his quickest lap there, so maybe that's what's happened. But the white flag is out here for the final lap of the Solo Classics at ABK Refrigeration and Advanced Building Comfort. Just down the road there, we can see it behind the fire station there, the building there. Here comes the man himself, 163, about to get lapped by the winner. Rogan Chandler for his first ever win at New Zealand's famous cemetery circuit. David Hall in good solid second place. Vince Burrell goes through there in third for a fine third place for Vince Burrell there on the Moto Guzzi V-Twin.
We'll take an opportunity to talk about our other sponsors today, like H&A, supporting local projects and community focus, established back in 1923. Proud to compile the awesome 362 pages of the Bob Coleman book about the Coleman family that Terry Stevenson interviewed Bob before, so well done. And make sure it's called the Colemans of Whanganui, the way we were. And also, of course, memories of Whanganui books available, the Whanganui Canberra Club in their 2017 calendar as well. They're home at Purnell Street, just off Guidance Street here, and I can't recall a year they've not printed the program. They've been our program printers for many good years. Digital offset, large format, flyers, business cards, brochures, posters, newsletter, stationery invitations, you name it, they print it. H&A Print, official printers of our program as well. And to put together our Hall of Fame and added to it people like the legendary Tim Gibbs, the late Bert Munro, and others along the way. So fantastic event. So motorcycling has come of age in New Zealand, recognised as a true sport, and more importantly as the prestige and honour and glory and heritage and legacy of great events such as Cemetery Circuit. All right, classic sidecars out. A Spider, any one of these machines are probably older than the average age of our spectators here today, but some great machines that come together once a year. There's not too many events for these guys now, but you save your best for Boxing Day, don't you?
Yeah, they do need to up their numbers. They were struggling to get them, so if they don't get enough numbers next year, the class could be dropped. It's a shame Will Williamson and Julie Loveridge have retired.
Yep.
But, both holding injuries that they can't sustain with racing there, and right now we've got a good clean start, I think, and it looks to me like the Brian Stent machine here, another 351 out in the front, the new BMW machine. These are the current lap records around here in classic sidecars with Tracy Bryan. That's Brian's sister there, Tracy Bryan on the side there in doing the pastoring for 2 classes today. She got, I think, a third in the Formula 1 sidecars on the little 600 as well. Jason Rees and Bryce Rose, another local team, 192
fourth, actually.
in second place. Fourth, sorry. And Mark Smith with Darren Prentice on the 555 Triumph there, going through the S's. Oh, big crash from Mark Smith and Sid Sutherland and Darren Prentice in the S's. They come out of the S's, and looks like the passengers line there. That's got to be a red flag. That's got to be a red flag. In fact, the car's already gone out, so it is a red flag incident. So a big crash there. I noticed them going wide there into the S's, then the screen change. It looks like they clipped the curb and shot straight across to the hay bales on the other side. So tough day for them so far. Tough day for them. Hopefully they're okay. So a red flag incident for the Ignition Motor Group, Holden, Kia and Mitsubishi Motors group from Whanganui. So classic sidecars there. That's a bit tough already today for them.
God, we didn't even get a lap in, Spider.
No. Well, for some reason they come out and did a lap and a half and then went back into the pits and then come back out. So they've done a few laps already, but looking for that passenger sitting there in the just getting up there at the S's there, walking away from it.
Got his helmet off, so he's looking okay.
Darren Prentice doing Formula 1 and classic sidecars as well today. There's number 266, not on the program, 266 on a beautifully presented machine. 850 local boys, Robert Hood and Robert Hood and Mark Thompson. Robert Hood and Mark Thompson. So all these sidecars going back to the pits, and that's not much fun for the boys today so far. Don't forget prize giving on tonight. It is disappointing that the Whanganui don't host the jet sprints tomorrow. I've really enjoyed doing the cemetery circuit every year for the last handful of years, then taking a couple of brown Powerades and sitting on with a chili bin on the bank at the jet sprints, but they've decided to move away. Hopefully they might see how their season goes and maybe bring it back, because it was classic motorsport here for Whanganui, and yeah, great to have 2 days racing, and jet sprinting is very, very spectacular.
Just want to talk about those prize giving, Spider, because there is the formally official.
All right, a good clean start for the sidecars there for the first race of the day. Unfortunately, we had a red flag earlier on, but 351, the local team, well, sort of local team. Brian Stent, local, built by the father of both these people. It's brother and sister on the sidecar. Brian Stent with Tracy Bryan doing the swinging there, and this is the Roger Stent build machine. They haven't had a win on classics round here on sidecars yet. The old band had a win, I think, about 1977 with Tony Cave doing the driving there. Roger was doing the passengering, so this might be their first win. They are the current lap holders, but right in behind them is the local machine, Robert Hood and Mark Thompson on the Norton Commando, R&R Performance Engineering, McDonald Equipment Trade Zone, Tom Dittriel Panel Beaters, Midwest Motorcycle sponsor machine, including the door shop, and already about a 15 bike lead there for the two front bike. 457 there in third place, and that is Darren Pate and Tina McEwen there on a BMW. It's Bryce Rose and Bryce Rose, not listed. Yeah, Jason Rees and Bryce Rose. Jason Rees on the 192 bike. They had a better start in the earlier race there on the yellow Triumph. Our local boys, I can remember, I think Jason Rees was riding this, a Formula 1 sidecar and a solo classic last year. 3 bikes. I don't think anyone else has done about 3 bikes since the likes of Robert Holden at Whanganui, so he would have been tired boy, but expect them to get up there and try and challenge for third place. But I already suspect that those 2 lead bikes have got a bit of a break there as we watch them go through the S's, the yellow Triumph, the local Triumph, sponsored by Rees Engineering. We've got out to Roberts Island there, and that'll be third place there. Already the leaders are coming to side of the overhead bridge, and going to check out the classic record lap time. First people ever to go under a minute. It's this team on a different bike on a tried it. And they sold that bike to Auckland, north of Auckland, and now Father's built them a new bike with this beautiful BMW machine. Have a look at the engineering on how they get from shaft drive to chain drive there, Neil. It's pretty incredible.
Oh. Tell us more, Spider. I mean,
well, they've got a little dummy gearbox there just behind the engine, and then they run chain drive back to the back so they can change their gearing in that, whereas the other BMW and the Motor Guzzi of John Blamels and Charles Bilby is straight out to the shaft drive, and that is one of the difficulties when you get to a track to try and re-gear it. So this is how Roger's done that. He's gone into a jockey wheel or jockey gearbox, change it from shaft drive to do that. Very, very clever man, very, very clever team,
great.
Very, very clever family.
Yeah, great to see with our classic sidecars, and their times only, by the way, around 1:03, so well off breaking that 1 minute barrier, but great to see all the same. Courtesy of the Ignition Motor Group, the home of Holden, Kia and Mitsubishi, here on Purnell Street, just off Guyton Street, just off Cemetery Circuit. Proud to be another Whanganui business supporting another Whanganui institution. This great Cemetery Circuit, 351 with the brother and sister combination of Brian Stent and Tracy Bryan on their Shearson Auto Centre Motul supported BMW powered unit. And of course, Super Dad was the man behind the scenes, as he has been for so many years. Classic sidecars and not looking good. Oh, last time, by the way, a 1:00.63. So there you go, the 1 minute mark. It's been that ultimate challenge of going underneath that. So great effort there by Team Stent Racing. And Brian and Tracy, brother and sister, have put it all together, 1:00.635. So keen to see whether they can do it again. 2:44 with Bruce Roberts and Jim Bilby, the team all the way out of Kimbolton up there in the Hill Country Central Plateau, up from the Manawatu. So good effort there from those boys. And of course, Team Roberts, we know how good they are with so many of them racing in the sidecar family as well. As we look out for Robert Hood, Jason Rees, Darren Partey back in there in the fourth place, and Nev Mickelson up there. Well done to the Team Mickelson Racing. Man to man, have they been around a year or two or what? Love having the Mickelson family racing at Whanganui. Wouldn't be the same without Team Mickelson. Uncles, cousins and brothers that have all raced so well from the Mickelson family over the years. Well done, another institution of Whanganui Cemetery Circuit. This is the Ignition Motor Group and classic sidecars looking as good here. They've spied it. What have we got to do to get more? Is there more machines out there that just haven't been able to be mobilised? Have people got to build them, or have we got to import them? How are we going to build the numbers? And
well, I think there's just too many sitting in sheds at home, and they've got to come out here. You've got to do, of course, a couple of races to the year, 3 races before you can qualify to race on a street circuit. That's the same for every class. It doesn't matter what you're doing unless you apply for a dispensation, and that's got to be carefully looked at. It's I don't know what's going on. There is the extras now with the Burt Munro Challenge. Has had classic sidecars there for the last 2-3 years, and also the Southern Classic Festival. And of course they overlap the first round of the Suzuki Series. So some of the teams choosing to go down there. Some of them have actually gone down to the South Island to live there. Okay, we're chasing the magic minute mark. There we go. We get the thumbs up from Tracy Bryan. I bet she's got that from the gynaecologist more than once, but they've dropped off about 2 seconds a lap. So we also had Jason Rees and Bryce Rose there down to a 1:09.72, but both of them have dropped back into the 1 minute and 2 second mark. So they can see what's in front of them. They can see what's behind them. The white flag is already up for the classic sidecars here for the first race of the day for them, sponsored by Ignition Motor Group, Holden, Kia Motors and Mitsubishi Motors. Now Tracy Bryan's just an outstanding passenger. She had a win here, I think, last year on a Formula 1 sidecar. She's ridden her Formula 2 sidecar around here. She's ridden a classic sidecar around here. She's hasn't had wins here on the classic sidecars either, but absolutely outstanding.
And she crashed here and bent the Hattrick Street sign.
Yeah.
Never been the same again, Spider.
No, Hattrick Street bent sign.
And what was it? I'm trying to think of the young lady that was swinging for
Tina McEwen.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was Tina McEwen.
Okay,
that was in practice about 3 years ago. Got out there, so look at this. Here they are, the current lap record holders chasing their first ever win on classic sidecars, followed hard by Robert Hood doing the driving with Mark Thompson there on the passenger. Now, Robert Hood's had about 4 wins around here. Where we go, looking through the list here. We go HOOD. Sorry, folks.
Now, let's just while Spider's looking at
3
that,
wins.
I want to say as well about Brian Stent. Now, Brian Stent has ridden VMX Vintage Motocross. He's been overseas. He's ridden vintage events over. He's been a New Zealand champion before as well. So let's not forget his off-road scene. And of course, he's had a good stint in Supermoto racing as well, Spider. So he's not unfamiliar to winning. So
what a lovely, reliable passenger in Tracy Bryan there. I think she's one of the superwomans of this world. Doesn't need a cape, just turns her apron round.
Yeehaw, yes indeed, the only way to go. So well done, the brother and sister combo. And again, of course, although Tracy and Allen's and Tauranga, we know them as a true Whanganui identity. So bring it on with the Brian and Tracy show. Proud to be Whanganui and proud to win the Ignition Motor Group Opening Classic Sidecar Racing. Believe it or not, folks, that's halfway -1. That's halfway -1 because we've got to get the Robert Holden in as well. So there we go. What a day. In fact, we've got 19 races to squeeze through in there. So I'll tell you what, that's been a biggie for the day. And let's hope we can continue and keep the momentum going. So keen to look out for it. That was just race number 9 of our 19. Still to come post-classic, followed by Bears F2, Super Motard, Superbikes, Super Sport with F3. And the Robert Holden Memorial is not at the end of the day as it has been.
As we're lining up on the grid, we have two classes here on the grid, the junior and the senior. Now, that's nothing to do with the age of the people. Basically, the junior would have been the old Formula 2 in its day, and the senior would be the Formula 1 in its day. So that's what we got out here. Pre-89 Classic, there's a few pre-82 bikes there. Be interesting to see how Dean Outred from Australia on the Carl Cox Motorsport bike can go. I've seen this guy in action at Hampton Downs, and mate, he is such a weapon. Looking for him, I think he's on about the 3rd row there. Mustn't have to be, maybe he's going up here about on the 3rd row or the 2nd row. So Sean Donnelly there, sitting there, 13th in the overall winners list in the Cemetery Circuit for the history of the Cemetery Circuit. He looks like he's in about 2nd position there on row 1. In fact, we see Glenn Sketchell on position 1. In fact, no, Sean Dolly's back to row 2, 371. Jay Lawrence, we've got a gap there for 3rd place. Then we go to Eddie Kattenberg, 15. Inside there, it's number 3, number 4, and number 582, one of the Eagleton brothers, after the other one had a crash in the S's earlier this morning. So off. The red lights have all gone out, and it is Glenn Sketchell goes into first run. There's Dean Outred coming up on the inside there into maybe 3rd place. He slots into 3rd place with Jay Lawrence here on the pre-82 machine there. In fact, Jay's got out in the front there, 371 machine. Jay's popped him out into the front there. Jay's had several wins around here, so has Glenn Sketchell in all sorts of classes. So the action is on. Outred in 3rd place on the Carl Cox Motorsport GSXR 1100 on the pre-89 bike. Already the 2 lead bikes as they go through the S's here at the Cemetery Circuit for the 2016 Suzuki Series has got a break there on 3rd and 4th place. So the cameras go round coming out of Roberts Islands. Clatchell will want to get into the front. He's had lap records at every race meeting he's been to this year apart from the Formula 3 today. So in the Suzuki Series. So here we go, the overhead bridge deal.
371, there we go, the Jay Lawrence show back as we applaud him as he goes past the incredible Sketchy. Yes indeed, the flying 47 of Glenn Sketchell out there at the moment, a massive lead of 128 points. He had 30 points, so he's unbeatable lead. So he's the first of our champions to be crowned here today. As we're looking out for the likes of Scott Finlay, Dean Bentley, Tony Sklenas, they're in this junior class that Spider's been explaining, and the Lindsay Tate and Associates post-classic, so they're on the smaller F2 bikes. And remember, of course, they've got their bonus points for top qualifying positions well. But back out in front, 371 Wellington's Jay Lawrence up against fellow Wellingtonian in the 47 of Glenn Sketchell. So an awesome front. In fact, as they head towards Robert Holden corner, we then can't see anybody back in 3rd place. It is daylight. These guys are miles in front so quickly in the races. They round Whanganui Toyota once again and head towards the Pirelli Overbridge. It is the flying 371 and Mr. Jay Lawrence out in front and flying at the moment as we look back to 47 and Sketchy on that beautiful bimotor as he powers it, wheelies it downhill down the Suzuki towards the start finish line. 17 back in there, and I'll tell you what, picking it all up on fire here at the moment with our 17, and keen just to look out Shane Richardson. Now, in the interview with Terry before, Shane was telling about riding this little F2 bike, and he said much more rideable than his actual F2 600 bike. Even though he's on a 600, this is a 570. They are light years apart by technology, and actually by performance is probably, I'd say, 30, maybe 40 horsepower different between them. So a whole different bike, but just giving him more of an opportunity to ride. And it's the likes of a Shane Richardson, Spider. They'll be our riders of the future if they can adapt and do the Robert Holden thing. Don't matter what you ride, anything from a scooter to an F1 bike, the more times you get round the track here, the more accustomed to winning you'll be.
And the other thing, this bike hasn't run for some 16 years. Overhead bridge now, 6 or 7 bike lengths here. Jay Lawrence has had 5 wins at the Cemetery Circuit. Glenn Sketchell has had 4 as we see Lawrence tip it in sideways and slide the tail in there in turn 1. I don't know whether he lost a bit of time in there. He liked showing off a bit out in the front and that, but right now, and the other thing too is he's on a pre-82 bike. This Steve Bryan prepared bike number 371 with Jay Lawrence here as a pre-82 bike. TSS Red Baron supported, and also Star Pepper. Sketchy looks up on the inside coming into the Suzuki S's. Not right there, settles in there to 2nd row there, but the superior handling of this motor is just exorbitant. In fact, Nick Cole reckons with a good motor, a proper motor in this thing, it may even be able to win the Robert Holden Memorial, and he has won a Robert Holden Memorial before. So definitely it's got the goods. Here we go, up onto the overhead bridge, and Scatchell's trying up on the inside, doesn't quite get there as they pass the first of the back markers, number 414.
Is that still Steve Bryan's bike that Joe's riding?
Yes.
It had been, I know, in the past, and I wasn't quite sure where it's at. So Steve Bryan, super husband of the lovely Tracy Bryan, he owns the big GSX, and Jay Lawrence, the awesome pilot on board. So what a great team, what a great family to have. Yes, indeed. Just keen to point out as well in our junior class today that Shane Richardson, 26 points, 25 for his last up win, and the 1 point for his qualifying bonus, and he's quickly already shot into a 12th place there. If he can do the same again, he'll end up inside the top 10. He will have only done 2 of the whole 6 races of the series. So keen to see his performance, as well as the fact that he's riding an incredible top placing overall, is the fact that it's only on a junior bike.
There we go, Glenn Scatchell up on the inside into the Toyota corner. Jay Lawrence had to sit up, but it almost changed position after they were going to the overhead bridge. The 47 machine, Glenn Scatchell pops its wheel in the air. Jay Lawrence is not going to give up. He's had more wins around here than Glenn Scatchell. They go into turn 1, can't see that white flag out there. Their eyes are back onto the TV. It's going to be all about back markers as we come across number 10, Craig Seaton from Pocono on the GS1000. So it's going to be all about back markers. They'll just have to keep their line. We're coming across number 43, Kerry Chapman from Napier as well. So looking out onto... Hang on, sorry, we're going out of the in towards the S's there for the lead 2 bike, and Scatchell's got a bit of a break over Jay Lawrence. It could change the other way. It's all about back markers here, but then Scatchell has also got a clean run as well. I'm just going to slip over and see if I can see what the fastest lap is at the moment. 52.036 is this last lap, 52.036. Hey, look at that, a lap record by 0.7 of a second. A lap record, there it is, Glenn Scatchell, so far. And I don't even know whether that's the fastest lap. So that's incredible. All right, reading their way amongst the back markers as they go into turn 1 here at the cemetery circuit. Looking around between turn and there's a big gaggle of back markers here, number 17, and that's Chris Beams, I think there's 217 out there. We come across 396 as well, Mark McKenzie from Whanganui in a Honda CB400. Remember there are post-classic junior and seniors out there.
2 back markers he put between him, 2 back markers, so that pushes Jay Lawrence further back, 2 back markers in there. So the awesome Mike Webster, owned by Motard, in the hands of 47, Glenn Scatchell has built up that bigger buffer and then said, hey to Jay Lawrence, I'll put a couple of back markers between us and keep you further back. But I do want to say, what an outstanding ride by Shane Richardson. If this is only one of his first major events at this on this bike at this event, I tell you what, he's going to set the world on fire to come, because he's now got somebody as good as Paul Pavlitich back behind him. Paul's on a OW01 chassis with an FZR 1000 engine on board. He's got a 570 inside the frame, and he's in front of somebody as good as Paul Pavlitich, the original Superman and one of our all-time heroes of New Zealand road racing. So look at that, 17 in front of number 4, and there's the 570. So Shane Richardson, take a bow. If you can lead in your class by this kind of buffer with the white flag out and 1 lap to go, that is incredible. So Shane Richardson leading Paul Pavlitich, although they're in 2 separate classes. It gives us an idea of what Shane Richardson has done today to improve so much, because there was no way in the first race that he was going to be in front of Paul Pavlitich. So a great performance. 47.371 by 17 ahead of 4 is the order of your top 4 at the moment as they pick up the back markers and go through already. The white flag is out, 1 lap to go here at our Lindsay Tate Associates final post-classic race of the entire series. 2 at Taupo, 2 at Manfield, and the second of 2 here today. And there it is, Jay Lawrence in across the line as we see 47 Glenn Scatchell take another outstanding victory here. And so that is 6 wins, 3 qualifyings and 3 lap records broken. That one might be by 0.7 that you picked up at least, Spider, but that one at Taupo by 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Unbelievable to see how well he's gone. So Glenn Scatchell writing history into the cemetery circuit in the Suzuki Series.
All right, excellent racing there, and that was the first race of the second round for the day. In fact, that was it? Yeah, that's the final race. So after this, in fact, no, they're going to interview down there on Taupo. Keith, this is a job Ray Whittam did for so many years, and Terry Stevenson has decided to do it this year. Thank you, Terry. We're just going to look over you, and we'll have to get the nods up, or you'll come in over our microphones. But Jay Lawrence, what a legend. TSS Red Baron sponsored. Sorry, not Jay Lawrence, mate. I see Glenn Scatchell. Glenn Scatchell. Apologies, both of you boys.
Glenn, you look like you did that easy. Were you just stalking him?
No, heck no. Jay was making me use every little bit I had in the tank, mate. Cheers, buddy. Yeah, no, that was proper hard yakka, that one.
So, you know, I didn't come and get you out in the riders thing because I thought I knew that I'd be talking to you at some stage today because you're riding 2 classes. You know, you've won the series for the Post Classics.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been a fantastic series for us again. Mike and Andrew just put together such an absolute awesome bike. You know, we got the Metzler tyres on here, not even running the slicks, just the proddy tyres, and they're just doing the business. Everything has just been a real fantastic series.
And you went 0.7 under the lap record.
Just then? Oh, crikey, that'd be why it felt like hard work. No, that was, okay, far out, yeah. I knew Jay from the last race. He made a mistake off the start, which cost him, unfortunately. But I knew he was going to be a force to reckon with in this race. He got me at the beginning, and I just sort of had to bide my time. And thankfully, he gave me a couple of good lines to use. So cheers, buddy.
Yeah, you took advantage of those back markers in the last couple of laps too.
Yeah, that's a real big part of it here. Is being strategic with your back markers if you can. Just sort of popping them in the right places. It's always a bit hard to tell how far the guy is behind you, but yeah, that's good race.
So you've got F3 coming up?
Yeah, one more to go. Yeah, I've still got a Formula 3 race, and then potentially the Robert Holden. We'll see if we get the invitation for that there. We might pop out in the old girl and see what she could do with the moderns.
Well done, Glenn Scatchell. 6 wins out of 6 races and Post Classics.
So on and so forth. This uses different points to Superbike. Our Superbike Road Race Championship Series in New Zealand has a different point scoring method than what we use for the series. We use a series whereby we acknowledge those riders that consistently perform at each event, and it's about doing the whole series. So not one where you get just a mega point separation between first, second and third and so forth, whereby that if you just manage to do 2 of the 3 leagues you can still win it. It's all about those that perform at event after event. So it's a great point scoring system as used by a lot of other parts of motorcycle sport around the world. So that's why it's climatic to build up, and why it's climatic, as you're going to see, I'm sure, in the likes of the F1 class today, where that 1 point for qualifying is a real bonus, because Tony Rees has 2 of those for his qualifying efforts, and I'm sure it will come to... No, sorry, does he have... No, he has one, sorry, I should say. He has one, so we've actually had a different qualifier. He had it until the final lap when Sloan took it off him at Taupo. That's right, Sloan pipped him at Taupo. So that point that he's got today, I'm sure, will prove to be crucial. All right, Q West, the home of quality aluminium vessels, as built proudly and designed right here in Whanganui, proud to support Bears Racing, British, European and American racing, all coming together for this classic finale. Like Ashton Hughes in the young class, he's got 128 points over 106, so he's got a 22 point, but there's 25 up for the win, so he's not quite there yet over Jaden Galway, ahead of Raymond Herdman and Paul McLaren. And then in our big class, it is Colin McGregor over Whanganui's own Jason Bardell. Unfortunately for Jason, he is 19 points behind, so he's got a lot of work to do. He'd need all of that for a top 3 placing, and Colin not to finish. And with Colin's consistency, I can't see that happening. As we look out then to Nick Southerwood, also on the BMW Superbike, the S1000RR, as we go back and go racing and follow them through on that early stages. QS Bears Racing, Spider Stables.
Already Mark Perry from Bulls there. Sanson, is on 87 machine, the Aprilia V1000. He's already got a bit of a break of maybe 12 bike lengths. Robert Whittle behind him on 73 machine and 43 there. I think it's 43 in 3rd spot. Didn't quite pick up the number, but they're going to come around already towards the overhead bridge on the first lap of the Q West Boat Builders New Zealand Limited Bears class here. 87, it is 74, and it is 49. Sorry, Jason Bardell, followed by 92. 92 there in 4th place is Ashton Hughes there. He'll be the first of the juniors there coming through there. So it tightens up down the back straight there. Look at first place is already done and dusted almost, but Jason Bardell is on fire. We saw him come through from further down the field there. He's on fire on the 49 machine. The local lad is about to pass Robert Whittle. Can he get into there into the Suzuki corner? Not quite. He's going to line up there. Follow 74 Rob Whittle. Trying in the S's there. Not quite doing it yet, but he's got the goods. Of BMW S1000R, but Robert Whittle's getting faster and faster and faster as the day goes on. Mark Perry goes through Roberts Island there. Had his first win last year, followed up by a win in the first race today, and another win possibly for him here if he finishes the race. So Bears Racing there out on the track. track at the moment.
With the advanced panel and paint rider, and there he goes, a man out of the Manawatu, Mark Perry, out to lead in 49, Joe Whanganui, 74, Rob Whittle, picking up the race pace on the NTB Racing Aprilia, and don't you just love this, all that more experience. Rob Whittle has been a specialist small bike pilot, but I tell you what, picking up that NTB Racing Mitchell Motor SBS Aprilia RSV4, and really starting to pound it around the streets of Whanganui. Look out for bigger and better things to come from this gentleman. He's just passed his 21st birthday, and he's decided to make New Zealand his home, and I tell you what, he's added a wealth of goodwill and does a great job in promoting our sport, and also an all-round good guy and a great racer to go with it. So get used to that name, folks. Rob Whittle out of Raglan.
Well, Bardell's got through there in second place, and already he's opened up about 12 bike lengths, pushing back Robert Whittle to 74 in the third. Got to have me shout out to Dwayne Bishop, local man, on 211 on the RSV4 Aprilia. I think he's sitting there in fifth spot there on the 211 machine. Had 2 crashes here at the prize given. We handed him half his key last year. 2 crashes here at the Cemetery Circuit last year. Still got out and went out there and finished the last race of the day. Top 20 qualifiers for except for the Motards and the Sidecars, will go into the Robert Holden. I'm expecting to see a couple of post-classics in there, so that's coming up later on the day. Check your program for when that's up there. But Mark Perry there goes into the Suzuki NZ corner, across the railway lines and out towards the S's there. Jason Bardell starting to hunt him down. In fact, I'm going to have a look at the lap times, and Bardell on a 52.6. Going to wait for the screen to change over. I think Bardell was on a 52.6. We're looking out for the lap time, a 52.4 for Mark Perry. So I don't think he's going to reel him in. I think Mark Perry's going to slow up there. He knows how far he is ahead. He's been looking over his shoulder there. Here we see him coming onto the overhead bridge, the Pirelli overhead bridge at Whanganui. Bardell in second place there. He can now smell him. He can now see him. There's maybe 120 metres in it, so maybe there is a chance there. I don't know how many laps.
Just the fastest lap too, Spider.
So
Jason Bardell just put in that fastest lap. I think that Mark Perry may just have dropped his guard a fraction, because there's an opportunity now for Jason Bardell to close in on the Whanganui man, getting more excited about his racing than ever before, and you can as well with a flying good ride out there. So the flying 94 to do it at the moment. So 49, my apologies, number around the other way. Jason Bardell out of the 49 Dubbies to go racing on that beautiful BMW S1000R. So Jason Bardell from Whanganui putting the pressure on the Sanson man. So you got Bulls and Sanson, all I suppose suburbs of Whanganui you would call them. They're not too far away from here. In fact, if you're in Auckland, it's probably quicker to get to Sanson than it would be to get down to South Auckland. So there we go, 87 for Mark. Then go to Jason, back in that second place. Now looking out for 94 for much improved ride. 92 to get through there as well. That is a ride from Ashton Hughes. He's on the Triumph Daytona 675. That's a junior bike, courtesy of Hughes Motors Greymouth and courtesy Motorcycles Palmerston North, your Manawatu Triumph dealer. So Ashton Hughes, and he's a rookie, remembering first timer here today, or Virgins as we call them, and he went out on that Virgins practice session for first timers here today, to be joined by people like Nathaniel DeProse and Mitchell Reeves. But add this name as a first timer here, Ashton Hughes, and get used to that name. The winning continues.
Yeah, a bit of confusion there. Our computer screen said we're 2 laps to go. Come down to 1 lap. I have not seen the white flag out here. It is a race to the flag. Hopefully these guys got the gas on board. I'm not too sure where the mistake is happening, but right now we're looking out for Mark Perry, and definitely Jason Bardell's closing up there as they put a lap in between them. That lap at number 22, Norman Baird from Palmerston North. 1 lap to go. The computer is not saying what the 1 lap to go, and I think we got 0.6 of a second between first and second in terms of lap times. Jason Bardell is the quickest man on the track. In fact, 52.8 and a 53.1 with 1 second between first and second. So unless Perry makes a mistake or back markers get in the way, as we see Nick Salloy put his leg down coming into the overhead bridge, he's all right. He's just getting used to that bike. Former Pro Twin rider now on the BMW S1000R. So looking out for Mark Perry for his third win at the legendary Cemetery Circuit. Where is he now? Here he is. No, that's number 11. 358 coming through. 103. That's Peter Buss. I think 103 is Peter Buss from Christchurch on the Ducati 1098. 28 goes through Sean Manson from Whanganui. Here we go. Wow, it's closed up. It's a race to the line. It is Mark Perry. Jason Bardell, can you get the drive? No, it's not going to happen, but I need another lap and it would happen. In fact, what was the gap there, Neil? What was the gap between first and second?
Well, we can let you know the gap at the moment. The differential was 1.043, a fraction.
Yeah, sorry about there. I got a fair ball there, Neil. 1.043. It certainly looked closer than that as it went across the start-finish line. Hey, I don't know whether that computer's going to be telling us the right things in that lap, because it had already elapsed the whole race. It was only just 1 lap to go when there was 2 laps to go. So I reckon that finish was very, very tight and one of the tightest we've seen today. We're looking at Mark Perry going down to have a chat down there with Jason Bardell, shaking his hand and disappearing off in the distance. The Suzuki number 1 placard in front of Mark Perry. This is his 3rd win at Whanganui. We're going to go over to Terry Stevenson and see what he's got to say for himself. I remember last year, the first thing Mark Perry says is, this one's for Ray Woodham.
Hey Mark, that was an awesome race. He nearly got you in the end. Did you know he was coming?
No, I didn't. He's been getting quicker and quicker all day. He's been following me around.
Your riding overall has been getting quicker and quicker. Over the years that you've been coming here, how many years have you been coming here now?
15 years now.
This is your first race one?
No, I ran last year too, won a race.
Okay.
The first 2 wins here at Whanganui.
Yeah. So how does it feel anyway?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, and it's having no moments out there, and it's an old bike, it's a 99 model, so it's got its work cut out for it against all the new stuff.
It seemed to me that really you got it all at the start.
Yeah, the V-twin off the line, I think. Yeah, and through the S's here, I feel very strong through there, and just try and edge out a little bit, but they are learning behind me.
Okay, well done, Mark Perry.
Thank you very much. Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Spider, for the save after we got a croak in our voice then. But the Robert Holden Memorial, folks, are brought to us by Whanganui Auto Wreckers. If you've seen Whanganui Auto Wreckers, they've got one of the old wool warehouses just in Lyfferton Street, just by the McDonald's on the roundabout on your exit to town, so almost on the circuit here. Whanganui Auto Wreckers, a fantastic new and enlarged shed. It's at www.rideforever. All those hot tips as well about the dusk and about dawn, about where sunlight is and how it falls, how you prepare for that. And when you're going on your ride, when you're leaving here to say, I'm going to be riding for the next 3 hours, and you know you're going to be going through dusk at that time, and so you're thinking, where is that setting, and how do I prepare for that, knowing that you've got a tinted visor, all those little tips that make your riding safer. Be aware, be alert, be smart. www.rideforever.co.nz, an ACC initiative keeping you safe on the roads. Yes, indeed, with our Pirelli F2 race coming up on the line. Remembering we're all on for this one. And thank you, Spider, updating our Pirelli F2 points at the moment. Damon Rees, 121. Go to Shane Richardson on 115. So 6 points between them with 1 race to go. So there you are. If Shane wins and Damon gets the 3rd, as he did in the last race, it will still be Damon by 1 point. He knew that before the day. Rogan Chandler is back on 77. He's just in front of Nathan DePro, so that's all on for 3rd place. And then go to 65 with Jay Lawrence.
All right, over to the start, and Shane Richardson moves over pole position right to the outside. Can he take turn 1? In fact, he doesn't. A big overshoot there for Damon Rees. That's going to change the whole dynamics of the season. A big overshoot. I think it was Jay Lawrence took in first, and Damon had to sit up there. That was in turn 1 here. So right now, Jay Lawrence, fresh from a win in the post-classic class just a bit earlier, and a 6th win of the cemetery circuit.
Second he got.
Second with Shane Richardson chasing him down hard. And in 3rd place, David Hall on the 28 machine. We go yet to Nathaniel Diprose on the 88. The Suzuki. So Suzuki, Kawasaki, Suzuki here at the cemetery circuit in 2016 for the last race of the Formula 2 class. And I bet Damon Rees is hoping this will be red flag so he can restart it. But already looking out, where is Demon Damo? Demon Damo's coming out. Passes the rider there, number 5 there. He's on fire. He's about 10th or 11th place here at the cemetery circuit. Looking out for the lead 2 bikes, and it still is on the 2007 or 2008 GSXR 600, Jay Lawrence. So Damon Rees is in 10th place at the moment. So that's a game changer in terms of points, a big game changer. 28, Shane Richardson closes right up there. He's going hunting. I watched him in practice. It was absolutely scintillating to watch this lad go around the cemetery circuit and watch for big things in him at the New Zealand Superbike Championships this year to see how well he does. He's got the goods, he's got the ability, he's just got to retain the consistency. They go into Toyota corner there, the first 2 bikes. Lawrence has got a bit of a break. He's probably got 10 bike lengths, which is enough at the moment at the cemetery circuit. They come into the overhead bridge. 37, TSS Red Baron comes to Jay Lawrence with Shane Richardson popping that front wheel in the end in 3rd place. David Hall on the 28 machine goes out and brushes the airbags there. And here comes Damon Rees there, probably through into about 7th or 8th place. He's hunting points big time. We got to look down to turn 2 there, and it is still 37-28, Shane Richardson. So Damon Rees is up to 8th place as we see that bike of Shane Richardson bouncing around the rear wheel, coming off the end, coming into the railway line there, down by Suzuki New Zealand. They go through the S's, they're coming out of the S's, 37-28. They've got a huge break on David Hall, but David Hall settled into 3rd place. Nathaniel Diprose on the 88 machine. I'm pretty sure that's him, or is that Rogan Chandler there? In behind him, can't quite see, the sun's coming around on the bikes and the shade and that, so we'll have to look out. 37 on the overhead bridge, 28 Shane Richardson, 28 David Hall, had to look twice there. It is Rogan Chandler there, 88-95 Sam Willisey, and there's Demon Damo Rees in 7th place. He's still got a bit of a distance to close up there to try and get into 6th, but he's chasing those valuable points as Neil Richards suggested earlier on. It is still Jay Lawrence here, hot on fire. I wonder whether he's got this from going out and having a good run to get 2nd place in the Post Classics, or whether he's just got the finger between the pulse and I don't know. Also, Shane Richardson will know what the situation is, probably with Damon Rees, that he's way in behind. Hopefully he saw him run wide there and maybe just settling down into 2nd place, but of course he wants a win. Everybody wants to win here at the Cemetery Circuit. They're coming to the overhead bridge again, number 37 there, Neil Ritchie.
So there we go, 1-2, let's count it back to Damon Rees. This has been a real adrenaline push here. This is a race breaker, a life changer for these guys. Looking for Damo, there he is, he's moved up, he's just gone past Willisey that time, so good work Sam Willisey, an outstanding run for him at the moment, the best we've seen from the Whanganui race in a long time, so good work. Damon's got the 5th place, so head that next group. Now, if we've got the 37 staying in front, that gives a 3-point buffer. We can in fact have Damon back into 5th place, he could be into 5th. I think that'll be enough, but it's got to be the 37 staying there, and I don't think he will stay there. Joe Lawrence on the Carl Cox Motorsport TSS Red Bell and Bridgestone tyres machine. Is he going to move up? Is he going to hold it? What's going to happen?
Well, on that last lap there, Richardson was a full half of second quicker than 37 Jay Lawrence. Nothing changed in terms of distance, in terms of coming to the overhead bridge is about 6 bike lengths. It's up to Richardson to win this race, and it's up to Jay Lawrence to get into 2nd. So Richardson hunting wide, going high, trying to find out where to pass the magic 37 there as Demon Damo Rees there. That'll be 5th place. That's good points for Demon Damo. We're looking over to the Suzuki corner, down towards the railway line there. They come out of turn 2, and it still is Lawrence in the front. I think Richardson's closed up just that little bit. They flick through those corners there, off towards the S's there. Where is Shane Richardson going to line up Jay Lawrence to get through and past him? I've no idea.
Well, he's certainly got some work to do out there at the moment now. Pirelli Power is nothing without control. F2 class. Courtesy of Nationwide Accessories, the home of AGV, RST, iPone and EBC brakes and Pirelli tyres. The flying performance out there from the number 37. What a satellite for Jay. And here we go with the other 37 and the 28 in there. Remembering there's 2 of them on the field, so do look out for him. That's the 37. He's got it at the moment. And Jay Lawrence still keeping Shane Richardson at bay. We're looking back to 28 to go through there at the moment, and that's a hot run indeed from the flying man David Hall. Exceptional. Rogan Chandler, Damon Rees in there. Keen to look out for Damon. How much of that gap can he close down? He's got to get into 4th place, I believe, from here to have a true chance, because otherwise the break that we're going to see from Richardson may be enough to do it as they pull the wheelies and take the charge down here through to the lap score line on this next update. So F3 racing, my apologies, F2 racing like you've not witnessed before, with Jay Lawrence, an outstanding composition of places here. 50.8, 50.7 for those top riders, so we're almost underneath that 50-second barrier at this stage. Now flying 68 down here for John O'Gibson out of Auckland to line him up, and there's 37 and 28, the 2 men out of Wellington, and a white flag, and it's 1 lap to go. Can Jay hold on? Because if Jay holds on, he will give the title to the 28. He's gone past Chandler. Damon Rees is up there. Maybe down on the inside. Look for it to go through on the still corner. Damon's there. Yes, Damon's got it. Damon into 3rd place from 11th place earlier on. Damon, what a comeback. He's gone to 3rd. So if that's good enough for him to hold on to it from there, if he finishes 2nd, if Richardson finishes 2nd, it will be the opportunity. So Rees, when it all looked to be all gone at the start of the race, what a comeback he has had. If anybody says he left anything out on the track, he's left absolutely nothing in a scintillating form. Can he hold it, Spider?
Oh no, he's got to hold it there. Shane Richardson's coming along there, but Jay Lawrence is pointing to him a second quick. Here we go, number 37. What a sensational win. The checkered flag comes out with Shane Richardson on 28th and second spot there.
Yeah.
Third place is David Hall on 28, and we go through there in fourth place. It is Rees. Oh, we got a follow there, and that's after. Well, that's Jay Lawrence here. Popped a bit of a wheelie, I think, and now he's got 3 pieces of his bike to pick up between turn 1 and turn 2.
That's a victory like no other. The crash will mean absolutely nothing. What an outstanding race. If ever there was a one that Shane Richardson had to win, and once we saw Damon Rees go out on that first corner, thought it was gone for all money. Jay Lawrence has ridden the ride of his life. Look at that. He puts his hands in the air. The crowd are applauding him down there on the still corner. Jay Lawrence, that is exceptional. What a race. As it got hotter, he got faster. He got more traction on the TSS Red Baron bike there, and he just stormed all the way. Just when at that midway point, thought it was only a matter of time. As Spider picked it up, we saw that the number 28 of Shane Richardson, he was faster on the racetrack, but he couldn't get through. And all of a sudden, at about that 3/4 mark, Jay Lawrence said, I've got you, I've got this, and I'm going to go all the way. And he has done an outstanding F2 victory. That would have to be Jay Lawrence's biggest and best result of his time here at Cemetery Circuit, Spider.
Yeah, and 200 metres, he's into the hay bales on the wind-down lap. I think he's probably muttering wanker in his helmet. The correct term is self-data. Hey, that's pretty good for a man that broke his neck last year and had a few broken bones and come back from racing. And wow, and I understand he might be getting a very, very late model or new Suzuki 600 to do some racing next year. So maybe while he's going to pick this one up and scrap, he won't be making the interviews at the end of thank God he's going to get a bit of a hard time at prize giving.
Well, there's a bike. Good job, Terry Stevenson knows who to stop, because it ain't got number 37 on the front of it anymore, because that plastic's been left back out on, or you call it fiberglass these days, been left back out on the track, because Terry Stevenson has got the man who's about to take his helmet off, and he'll have the biggest smile on his face. We love his bushy growth there, and an awesome good guy. Let's hear it for Jay Lawrence.
Wouldn't you love to interview him?
Well, that wasn't my finest work.
Understatement of the year.
I don't care. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah, you held him off all race. That was well done. You know, you've hardly ridden this bike at all.
Yeah, I mean, I hurt myself quite badly a few years ago, and I've been coming back into it, and I've been building up, but I was waiting for Shane or Damon to come past that whole race. I could hear them. I thought, hey, hang on, that's a white flag.
Yeah, exactly.
It's only one more. Maybe I can do this. But yeah, got a bit too keen.
Yeah, that was a real good skid after you took the flag.
Thank you.
All right, give it up for Jay Lawrence. Thanks.
And of course, put himself, instead of being a Kawasaki or a Honda across the line, put it on there for. In fact, we can see the camera shot, folks, and he's picking up some of the accessories off the dashboard. Well, here on the Suzuki Start at the moment, our Edmonds painting Supermoto, and Duncan Hart 102 points. Richie Dibben has moved back to second at 90.5. So 11.5 points the difference. What that means is that Duncan's got to finish 11.5 points behind what Richie can do for the victory if we want a Whanganui win. But unfortunately, after his crash at race number 2, that has been Richie on the back foot. His points have been 25, 25, 25 and 25, but unfortunately 125 missing and another opportunity to get another 25. So every race he has finished, he's won. Unfortunately, he's not finished one race, which is why he's now 11.5 points behind. Playing catch-up but never impossible. We saw some drama in that last race. It was oh so close. As we look for the lights, 2, 3, 4, so the riders can see the build-up. It's not as if the flag drops all of a sudden. 5, and when the lights go out, we go racing. And a bit of drama here at the back of the field. Wow, that was
looks like Cudge. Maybe Cudge kick-starting his bike there.
Well, and he put his hand up pretty quickly, and there was only one behind him, and he too was having a little bit of a hiccup. But these things, I tell you what, they're an absolute hand grenade. In fact, that may be it for Cudge, or somebody's going to pull over, and that may be it to go out. Edmonds Painting Contractors are now a Motard update. As we look out to the front of the field and watch them flip-flop their way through there. Beautiful and spectacular through the railway crossing and on towards the S's. So keen to check it all out. Number 19, Richie Dibben, your race leader, and already setting the pace out here. Unbelievable, look at that. He's got about 8 bike lengths on him already. Richie Dibben show, but it's where 74 finishes. Will decide Richie's fate. It's not in his hands. He's just got to win it. That's all he's got to do. And watch what happens behind him. And here we go with 210 Ben Dowman. There's a man, 4th place. Here he goes. Duncan Hart, your points leader. 11.5 points, and then back in 4th place. 4th place is still good enough. And you go 25, 22, 20, and the 4th place at 18. It is only 7 points of the 11.5, so it's not enough. Duncan Hart back in 4th place is still enough to win the overall, and he'll know that exactly by where he's sitting and who are the riders that he's around. Look at that, Whanganui all the way to host city, putting our top 3 riders out there in the points. So a great run to see. Whanganui, 14 of the riders up there. We talked about them before. Spiders counted them, 14 on our race program. So there we go. Whanganui. So well done to Ben Dowman, also to Aidan Brown up there. Top effort by Aidan. He's been a pole setter with us in the past on the Harvey Round Motors. Metzler, Balance Chartered Accountant, Swartz Tyre sponsored Suzuki RMZ 450. Number 19. There he goes. Richie Debon, fresh from racing at Malaysia last weekend. 74 has gone to third already. On the 3rd place, so as soon as we get up there to 3rd, so great to watch at the stage. So a 3rd place there, very telling blow at the moment. So Duncan Hart up, he's gone 1 up on Aidan Brown, he's gone back to the 4th place. So the Whanganui trifecta has changed to be just a Whanganui Quinella at the moment, with the Richie Dibben and Ben Dowman show, and then looking back to 74, our points attacker, and a man in the lead at the moment, courtesy of Mimico Ryco, the Equipment Centre, Endeavour Engineering and Bayride Motorcycles. Tauranga Duncan Hart. It's Duncan's to lose from here, Spider. We know how good Richie is, but you've got to finish in every race to be scoring points.
Yeah, definitely. Remember too, in the last race, I think Richie was 18 thousandths of a second away from lap record, but once he got a break from the crowd there, he slowed down. I don't think the lap record's going to go. I don't even know what he knows about the lap record, but right now his best time is a 51.498. The lap record is 59.62. So conditions slowing during the day. Track temperature running now in the mid-50s. The mid-50s, probably about 43, probably about 48 or 50 degrees on the actual racing line on the overhead bridge. So it's Richie Dibben already moved up into, I think, 53rd place at the Cemetery Circuit overall winners list, so he's going to go up further here, but as Neil said, it's all about the points in the Supermoto class.
Edmonds Painting, our waterproofing, plastering and coating specialist, proud to fire it up with an awesome run now in Supermoto racing. The Richie Dibben show back to, with us, the 119, remembering, get him behind him, folks. You can support seeing this local man race overseas. Richie Dibben on the crisp of some great international racing. As we go to 74, Duncan Hart in second. Hart's there. Hart's got it. He's up in the second, 4th, 3rd, and now into 2nd place. And Duncan Hart, the Tauranga man, the points leader, has a chance to win the title for the 3rd year in a row with an outstanding run. Toe and Auto Records action as we come along. The Suzuki straight 119 to hold it at the moment. Richie Dibben and an outstanding run. We look for the update. It's all on with Dibben. Oh, look at that. Gets it sideways and he's only going into the S's, let alone coming out of them as well. 119, the Richie Dibben show on his own as he heads towards Robert Holden. And we say on his own, the camera shot shows nobody behind him already. And this race is only half its maturity. And there he is to set a standard already. But as we said, you've got to finish in every race, and when he has not done so, it's allowed Duncan Hart to claim the bigger points run. So Hart heading to 3 years in a row of a champion, as this man finds 3 years in a row. He's not finished one race, and he's back in second for the title.
Yeah, excellent racer. I'll have to apologise to Coach Scott. He wasn't the staller at the start line. It was indeed John Oliver. So John Oliver got his bike started, got held up a full lap, so all the bikes had gone through. So it was Bulls' John Oliver. He had a massive crash down at Manfield last weekend as well. So look at the action of the Motards. 14 Whanganui riders out there. 74 and 17 there, battling it out for second place. As we see Richie Dibben pop the front wheel in the air, going through the S's there. So the battle is on for second place. It looks like Duncan Hart has a break on that though, with 74 just getting away, maybe 5-6 bike lengths. We will be coming across lappers. We watch it out for Richie Dibben there on 119, coming out of the Toyota corner, comes up, runs right round the outside of another rider there, 14 is Aaron Woodhead from Bulls, and off down there. No chance of a white flag there. In fact, we've got, it doesn't tell us how many laps we've got to go.
Check it.
Oh, it is a checkered flag. Sorry, no, yeah, checkered flag. So, wow, what's that going to do to our points still, Richie?
Yes, indeed, and there we go. So, unfortunately for Richie, it's a win, but Duncan Hart got the second. Therefore, Duncan has got the glory. He might have done a time of 50.2. The last lap was 54.9, so over 2 seconds faster, but not enough. He was allowed to look behind him and seen there that Duncan Hart got the second, and therefore Duncan Hart gets the title for the 3rd year in a row. The likeable father out of Tauranga claims the glory, but it's Duncan Hart that's got the series, and this man Richie Dibben, who's got the race, has got the Whanganui support and got everybody behind him, and burnouts down the bottom. We're smoking a bit of tyres down the bottom. as the boys get a bit excited about the final race, but Terry Stevenson has Richie Dibbon over here at the finish line.
Okay, we're with Richard. Richard, you're doing it too easy, man.
I was having a bit of fun out there, just giving it everything, and put on a bit of a show, and it was good times.
Have you thought about slowing down, taking a few less risks, maybe not crashing?
Just enjoying myself out there, and track's mint today, so putting in a few good laps and having a good time.
Hey, when are you going to go and ride some real road bikes? You know, Scotty Moyer's done it, Toby Summers has done it, you know, and they're at the top of their game now.
Yeah, I know I need to get on a decent road bike, but maybe next year we'll see what happens, and yeah, see how we go.
Okay, Richard Dibbon won 5 races from 6. And we'll just go over to Duncan Hart. Duncan, you've won the series again.
Yeah, mate, not sure quite how we managed to get it done. Richie's been super fast all season, but yep, we're here and we've won it, so pretty happy with that.
Yeah, hey, you had a good battle back there too.
Yeah, old Ben would really pick those game up today. Those Whanganui boys really love it around here, so no, kept me pretty honest all day.
So you've won really because you're so consistent.
Yeah, we've managed to finish at least second. Second's my lowest finish so far for the series, so yeah, it's got us through at the end. Yamaha reliability has got us there.
All right, well done. Supermoto Series winner.
Thanks, mate. Cheers, thank you.
Any hydraulic or electronic cam advance system. So Suzuki have made a mechanical one because that is very legal to do. So they've made a mechanical advance cam system, and they've done it with lining up slots in the camshaft with a roll of bearings that go along and line it up and give an opportunity to create more power by setting the camshaft, whereas it's now illegal to do it both electronically or hydraulically, but you can still do it mechanically. In other words, let the engine do it itself. You can't adjust it from the outside, and that's what Suzuki Technology's done. Why have they won more championships here than all the other brands put together? Because they are the best. We've proved that for so many years. New Zealand's #1 selling road bike by registrations. New Zealand's #1 selling two-wheelers by volume. New Zealand's #1 selling for so many years in the ATV scene. It's still Suzuki #1 in New Zealand. So
well, here comes Michael Dunlop. He's having another go.
Oh, thank you. So there's a word from Terry. Michael Dunlop coming out again. So Michael, perhaps like many of them, it's such a daunting task to come out here. We expect so much because they're international heroes, but all of a sudden they come to Whanganui for the first time. It is very, very hard to do something that they've not used to before. Yeah, we might know he might be the world's greatest road racer, but that's on some of the roads that are just miles and kilometres long and speeds in excess of 200 to almost 300 kilometres an hour. And here he is. What about a round of applause, folks? Here he is. Well, he'll find the brakes, that's for sure. There he is, Mr. Michael Dunlop, and he's set to take his place right there on the grid.
Turn away from you.
So pole position, Tony Rees. In second place we've got pole position, Tony Rees. Second place we've got Scotty Moyer. In third place that is Toby Summers there. In fourth place Dan Metum there. Looking out there, Dunlop on the second row, so is Horst Sawyer, got second place in this race. It's a race to the first corner, and
I think it's Horst.
No, that's Scotty Moyer there.
Oh, Scotty again.
Scotty Moyer, they all get round the turn one cleanly. Yeah, they all do. Yeah, Scotty Moyer followed by
4 from 11. It's 11 Tony Rees. 11 for Tony. He's got himself into second place. 4 by 11. Look out for 34 Daniel Medeman there. Keen to watch out for the next one and behind him, but it is our Kiwi boys that have gone to the front so quickly. Good work out there by Medham, looking back there further. I'll tell you what, Scott Moyer, he's sending some real pace out here on the Promoto supported Suzuki Penny Home Suzuki New Zealand bike. 11 by 34 with a Honda and the other Suzuki of 34, and Dan Meadham on the Ray Clee motorcycles. Of course, this is the man Daniel Meadham who won New Zealand 600 sports a super sport class last year. Here he is now in his first year of superbikes and already in the top 3 in the Suzuki series. 4 by 11 by 34 by 1. This time 22 to go through there. H2 check out. So good work in by Horst as he goes past. Look out for the 77 James Donald out of Hastings on the Suzuki GSXR 1000, courtesy of East Bay Transportable Homes, Pirelli iPone Oils and Burrell Signs, followed by local Whanganui well drillers, Whanganui Toyota man Jaden Carrick.
There goes Tony Rees into Suzuki S's, takes it on the inside of Scotty Moyer. Scotty wins at 8 wins round here. Scotty Moyer, sorry, is at 8 wins round here. Tony Rees a massive 23. I think Scotty popped up that wheelie and Tony caught him napping in a bit. Of course, we know that Tony's just a legend round here at the Cemetery Circuit, leading the Formula One at the moment as they go into the Toyota corner. Already got about 3-4 bike lengths. Look at the gap these first two bikes he got over and up third place, which is Dan Medham, followed by that Sloane Frost there on the TSS Red Baron machine. The Fujitsu sponsored GSXR 1000, Toby Summers and Horst Seiger on the tail there. You go back another 3 places, we've got Michael Dunlop. I think Michael Dunlop's trying to take another place going under there. Okay, down onto the back straight there, Taupo Key there, and Moyer's wrestling that bike. Doesn't seem to be as well set up, or maybe it's his motocross background, but certainly wrestling that bike. As I say, he's had 8 wins here and quite a number of second places. Tony's not getting away from him. Rees on the Honda Rider Insurance sponsored CBR 1000's not getting away. Medham still sitting in third place with Sloane Frost in fourth there. Bit of a out of the seat moment there for second place there. Scotty Moyer as he comes out of Robert Holden, so I think he's fighting bike set up here.
Yeah, it just doesn't look to be right, does it, Spider? He's really fighting it. Great words to use. 11 to go with Tony Rees, 4 and Scott Moyer, 34 for Medham, 1 now for Frost, 22 up there in the awesome and firing Toby Summers as we look out to Toby to hit it on through there. And I tell you what, Toby and hanging with him, Horst behind him, then going to Jaden Carrick, go Whanganui. Jaden out there and flying good form of the race. On the Whanganui Toyota, Honda New Zealand, Whanganui Well Drillers, Mud Ducks, Balance, Accountants, Chef Choice, More Law, Take It Easy Tours supported Honda CBR 1000 RR. So come on, Whanganui, another local to get him behind as Jaden Carrick shows us his real class in Suzuki F1 racing at the moment. But it is all the Honda of 11, Tony Rees out in front. I tell you what, Scott Moyer, if he can just smooth that bike out, I think he's just one of those things, Spider. Sometimes you've got to let the throttle off a fraction to get a bike to get the control and the time you want, because he's got some good men behind him back in the pits. We know all about Charlie and the boys, but I tell you what, some work to do out there now.
He is 0.1 of a second quicker than Tony Rees, but I mean 0.1 of a second here is almost useless. He's just got to find his way past Tony, but Tony, mate, 3 wins last year, a win already today. He's absolutely on fire. There goes Jaden Carrick there. Jaden Carrick, interestingly, I think he's the only man in Whanganui to be injured in the earthquake. Run outside when it happened and bumped in the clothesline and knocked himself out. This was a bit tough, but look at third place there, 34, Dan Medham. 2 wins here already on the Supersport 600 F2 class in the last year. What an absolute debut year spectacular debut year for Superbike riding for Dan Medham, and things can only get better from him. The lead bikes go into Roberts Island. It is still Tony Rees. 3, maybe 4 bike lengths between first and second. Scotty Moyer's not giving up, and the Gagala riders there for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th position, and I think 6th position, 6th position is also
Tony Rees, 4 and behind him and Scott Moyer, 34, Dan Medham, 1 is Sloane Frost, then go to 22, and the hot flying man is out there, still doing it again. Toby Summers, courtesy of Barn Jenkins, R&R Powersport, Mad Love Media, Super Finish, and BT Com, Beta Tools, and KTX Suspension. As we push hard with the letter H of Horst Seiger out there on the Red Devil Racing Bike Talk New Zealand, Bike Trans Locomotion New Zealand, Kawasaki, the Electric Spider, supported Kawasaki, so it's still a real opportunity to go for it. And Michael Dunlop, by the way, is out of the race, so no Michael Dunlop in the action at the moment, so Michael not feeling like a hand in a glove and well accustomed to the racing for whatever reason has gone on. The things just have not been good for him in his New Zealand debut, but awesome to have the Legion with him, and we'll acknowledge him and appreciate him for the success he achieved, and I'm sure he will in 2017 to look out for that fabulous Isle of Man. As we check it out again, 11, Tony Rees and 4, there he goes, Scotty Moyer staying with Tony, staying all the way. As we look back then to the 34 of Dan Medham, then looking for the power blast, look at that line down along the outside, trying to get up in there with Sloane Frost. Can he make the move to get through? No, I don't think he can, as Frost looks to hang there, quite a different line going through there. Not necessary to be the best or necessary to be the fastest, so another exceptional run as well. As we look out for the 87 in through them, we'll acknowledge Dan Perry out in amongst the lineup at this stage. Mark, no apologies, but it is Tony Rees and Scott Moyer, and Spider, I tell you what, Scotty Moyer not giving up. This one's not over yet.
No, he's never quit. What about Horst Seiger? 2 laps ago he set the fastest lap in the race of 49.555, but he's got those 3 other riders if he wants a podium position. He come in at a second place in the last race there, as we see the 2 lead bikes, Honda Rider Insurance. Tony Rees there going over in first place. Second is still Scotty Moyer. The white flag is out. It is Dan Medham in third place. Sloane Frost looks to be under pressure by both Toby Summers and Horst Seiger. All right, all eyes are on down to Taupo Key, the lead bikes here. Rees, Honda, followed by Suzuki. Rees has got this one in the bag, I'm sure, and he's very rare to make mistakes in that. Scotty Moyer has settled down a little bit. He's going to have to be comfortable here. As I say that, he tries the right line and almost up on the inside at the Roberts Island. Here comes Horse Tiger there. Can he make 6 from 5th there? 5th from 6, sorry.
Well, we're on our last one, and Brendan's down here ready with the checkered flag, and we've got another victory ready for Tony Rees. Here he goes, the 49-year-old hero. 4 now, and Scotty Moyer behind. Oh, and got it in on the inside. Sloane Frost. Jobber's got it on the inside. Look for Daniel Medham, but it's Sloane Frost to take the 3rd place across the line. Sloane Frost to hold it. Has he done enough now for the points? We'll be keen to find out. Sloane Frost, Daniel Medham, the margin between them, 0.101. 0.101. A fraction over 1/10 of 1 second. That is incredible. Keen to look out for those points at the moment as we go back to 25 for Tony Rees. We'll get the 22 in there for Scott. We'll have the 20 then for Sloane Frost horse. We can look out for it. We can get the next best of those placings. As he made it through, no he didn't. He's only got the 6, so that'll be back to the 15 points in there. So that'll take him to 125. We're going to have Tony Rees. He's going to take 25. He's going to be on 134. We're going to have Sloane Frost on 127, I think, in there. So I think it's going to be Tony. I think it's Tony by the points at the moment. So Tony was down 1 point when he went into it, but he's got 10 more points over horse. So Tony Rees to take the title. Sloane Frost has worked his way up to 2nd, and Horst is back there at the moment. There's 7 points and 2. No, in fact, it's still got to be Horst, I think, to get the 2nd. Spider.
All right, I'm not going to look at that. What I'm going to say is congratulations, Tony Rees. You are now the 2nd overall winner of the Cemetery Circuit in the history. 24 wins, 12 seconds and 6th. 3rd place. Good on you, the Rees family. 24 wins. Robert Holden's not going to be beaten with 47 wins. Over to you, boys, on the back straight there.
Tony, well done. That was really hard work keeping it in front of Scotty there.
Yeah, actually, you know, it's like I always say here, there's no time for a pit board, so as once I got past Scotty, put my head down, and it was actually a lot closer at the end than I thought, but, you know, enjoyed the race. The Honda was superb handling-wise, and it's fantastic to win the championship for Honda.
Tony, tell us about the championship. Did you win that?
Yeah, that's, I was 1 point behind, going into that behind Horst, and he said we should go for beers before that race and forget about it, and he'll have it. But no, he made him work for it, and it's fantastic. Yeah, you know, I had a good first round, struggled a little bit in the second round, but probably the best points position coming into the last round that I've ever been. So yeah, pretty stoked. Thanks to all the fans for coming out here and supporting us.
Yeah, you come back from 8 points down.
Yeah, that's right. And Sloane had an average race, I see, and Horst had a good race in the first one. He was 2nd behind me, and yeah, I knew, hey, just go and put my head down and see what we can do. It's fantastic.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question, and no one's listening. What's your secret?
No secret. I love riding motorbikes. Well, I suppose that is a secret, isn't it? It's probably no secret because we all love motorbikes.
So, are you coming back next year?
We'll see how we go, eh? Getting old.
Well, you've got one more race to go today. And you've got one more race to go today, the Robert Holden Memorial.
Yeah.
You'll be in it.
Yeah, one more to go, and it's we only got a little bit of a break between that. We've run the same Pirelli tyres all day, and they've just been hooking up really well, and hopefully they'll do 10 laps all right.
All right, congratulations, Tony Rees. Give him a clap.
Well, here we go, courtesy of Bike Talk, Whanganui, the Central North Island's biggest, friendly and best bike shop. Cheap overheads in a place like that, giving you the best bike prices. Talking to Russell Josiah, former Robert Holden winner, current competitor, all-round good guy, giving you bike deals that count. Hey, he wants to stay in business as well, folks. It's not just about anybody taking your money, it's about getting value for money. That's what motorcycle business is all about, and Russell has created value for money motorcycling at Bike Talk. He talks about bikes, he loves bikes, he's interested in getting a bike set up for you. He can get all the good gear for you. It's your total bike shop, parts, service, spares, accessories. You'll love it. Bike Talk from the great Russell Josiah. proud to be sponsoring our F3 class. Whanganui with the ride to the middle of the King Country to get involved with it as we check out our Formula 3 lineup. Glenn Scatchell, 127 points. Lee Tibman on 110, so that's 17. Unfortunately for Lee, had a little bit of bad luck with his mechanical problems, so he's only been in second places, and he was almost there to pick up the win last time, you'll recall, but then Glenn Scatchell got the better of him. Gav Beltmeyer hanging in third. He's got a 15-point buffer over Eddie Kattenberg from Josh Augustine ahead of Scott Finlay, going back to Richard Markham Barrett. So there are some of our points in the Bike Talk F3 series overall. So Glenn Scatchell, Lee Tibman, Gav Beltmeyer, 47, 45 and 2. They're your three top pilots to be looking out for as we head towards the Pirelli Overbridge for the first time and check out our F3 lineup. Will it already be that number 47? That's his favourite number. And look out for the speed junket. Oh, Ashley, 72. Ashley Payne, 47 back there at the moment. I think what could be back in third. Oh, they nearly came together. Going down the straight, Lee Tibman, Glenn Scatchell in the corner. Ashley Payne. Well, Ashley, of course, he's had points to forget about through the series. He's way back in 14th place. Unfortunately, no points from Taupo. Only one finish at Manfield, so he's back in 13th place. He scored over half his points just in one race here alone today, and he got the bonus point for being top qualifier and pole setter. So it's all on with the Ashley Payne show. And he's out in front, but that won't make a big difference to the overall points. But 72, 47 and 45 in there. And when they went down across the line that time, I tell you what, they were just right there. There was an amazing margin between them of 100ths of a second. And it is, at the moment, Glenn Scatchell holding on to the 45 of Lee Tibman as we line it up to the Pirelli Overbridge once again for the lap. And 72 go Whanganui, Ashley Payne, 47 Glenn Scatchell and 45 to watch Lee Tibman. And you've just got to admire the Lee Tibman performance back in here, because when he comes through the corner, when the others are letting the power off and now rolling through the corner, you're just going through here, and that little bike is bucking like a great bull ride at a rodeo and hanging on to his placing. So he's accelerating almost going through that corner. Spectacular to watch on that little bike, the RS 450. But I tell you what, Ashley Payne's going to be a bit harder to beat from here, Spider.
Yeah, so's the lap record. He's just, I'll tell you who's the quickest on the track is Glenn Scatchell, but just 0.3 of a second off the lap record at the moment. But he's been dragged back by Lee Tibman. He'll get into his slipstream there and drag him back. I wouldn't expect mine, I wouldn't be surprised if Lee Tibman gets up there under the inside, possibly on the overhead bridge as we see them coming over. Ashley Payne, the Whanganui man, 72. Lee Tibman looks in on the inside, settles in behind the two bike legs. The NSR is a little bit stronger in top speed, but Lee Tibman makes up for that by getting the drive off the corner. They go into turn one. Lee Tibman up on the inside. Lee Tibman up on the inside. Did he hold it? He held it by about 4 bike lengths. So Scatchell is relegated down to third place, and it still is 72 Whanganui's Ashley Payne out in the front for the Bike Talk Whanganui Formula 3 Superlight. So we're going to get so close to lap record. Can Lee Tibman get the lap record that is currently held by Scotty Moyer from 2010, a 52.137, a 52.137, a 52.276 for Ashley Payne. So Ashley Payne, I think, is the quickest on the track at the moment. Waiting for the screen to go over. Yeah, 52.276, so close to the lap record. The other boys have dropped off into the 53s. They're slowing each other down, Neil Ritchie.
Well, here we go, 72, come on Whanganui, Ashley Payne out in front, 72 goes 72, not with 45 and 47. I'm watching Lee Tibman's right here at the moment, and Lee knows how crucial it is. I think Glenn Scatchell knows with his 17 points, he doesn't have to do anything silly. Needs to keep out of Lee's way, and this will be where I was just talking to Lawrence before, saying that you ride sometimes for the place at which you need to be for the series, and that's exactly what I think Glenn Scatchell's doing at the moment. So why be on the edge when you don't have to be, when you've only got when you've got a 17-point buffer, and being in third place is still good enough to give you the victory. So well done. And of course, number 72 of Ashley Payne, well, he needs all the help he can get to pick himself up from a disappointing 13th place in the series overall to be fighting his way back there. But again, the Lee Tibman excellence of racing, and as Spider's been keeping us up to date with, very, very close to those lap record times. And of course, when Scott Moyer, well, he still holds that lap record, he's done it on a bike not dissimilar to what Lee Tibman's riding here today, a converted 125 motocross bike.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very spectacular too, Scotty Moyer around here. But right now we're looking at them coming across back markers there. We're going down the white flag it out as the final race of the final lap of the final race for the Formula 3 Superlight class, and Ashley Payne leads as they go down. Taupo Key, can he hold on to it for another lap? He's got a pretty level head round him, does all his bike preparation himself. There it is, 72 going across the Suzuki railway lines, flip-flop across there. Lee Tibman still in second place, and where is Glenn Scatchell? Glenn Scatchell's We can't see him on the screen, so looking out there, the letter B, Phil Casey from Australia there, getting lapped. But where is Glenn Scatchell? Glenn Scatchell looks like he might have slowed, or that could have been, no, there's two iTool bikes go through there, so the white flag is out. We're looking out for the bike leader, the right race leader, 72, Ashley Payne, followed by 45, Lee Tibman. And there it is, Glenn Scatchell in third spot, followed by 77, I think that's a lapper, that's Paul Rachel Ashburner. Not Paul, sorry.
And that's an example of where I believe you're seeing our top riders finish. And I think Scatchell has been a very hard-working young pilot here today, and he's been lucky enough to make 20th fastest. So he'll be out in the Robert Holden shortly, and he just wants to make sure that he can finish and win the title. So he didn't have to do anything outside of his comfort zone. Went at 9/10, which was good enough to claim the overall glory. So hearty congratulations to Glenn Scatchell in winning our title today, but very good for a third place over the line. Whanganui in the flying number 72. Ashley Payne would have certainly picked himself up into the top 10 for sure, outside the disappointing 13th place, but a great performance all round. So Whanganui's Ashley Payne takes first place, second goes to Lee Tibman, third to Glenn Scatchell, who will win the Bike Talk F3 Championship as we head over to the railway at the moment with Terry Stevenson.
Actually, that was a great win. I knew you had it in you. It's hard to win a race from the front when there's no one, but there's no challenges.
It's not that hard to push when you got people like Glenn and Lee behind you. You just got to give it your all. Bit out of breath.
So this is your first win here at your local track too?
No, one here on a 600 a couple of years back when it was wet, but first in F3.
Yep, so that was an excellent ride, so well done. I'll just go over and talk to our series winner. Thanks, Ashley.
Well done, buddy. That was an awesome ride, bro.
Yeah, give him a cheer. Glenn Scatchell. This is the only race he didn't win in this class.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just didn't have the answer to these lads this race. I think both Ashley, he was off like a cut cat, and I thought he was going to be. There was no arguments there, but I had a good tussle with Lee Tidman, and man, that was a good race. He really put his best foot forward there, so it was a real awesome battle, and he didn't back down, and I just didn't have the answer. I just had this. So third place, bring it home, get the points, seal up the championship. Yeah.
So this, for those that don't know, Glenn Scatchell won the F2 600 class 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I've had pretty good success in the Suzuki series over the years. It's one of those series that's just nice and short and sharp, and you just got to get on your A game right from the outset and keep the hammer down the whole way. You make one mistake, it's all over. So it's.
Well, we like your A game, so well done. Give him a cheer.
He says it's not suited so much for street bikes. At the Isle of Man, of course, they use the little wee 600cc short bikes like John Holden and Robbie Shorter are racing, and of course Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan. That was the machine that got 11th at the Isle of Man TT last year with Colin Buckley and Robbie Shorter riding, and 11th again this year, and that's the difference in there. The LCRs are just not that built, and it just shows you how hard that Tim Reeves and Mark Wilkes are pushing in practice. It's a big shame because Mark Wilkes came out here with Tim last year. They dominated in the first 2 rounds, and unfortunately Mark had a road bike accident and broke his neck, so he had unfinished business. Right now, let's see what can happen in the Robert Holden Memorial. Remember last year we had no Suzukis turn up for about the first 3 rows. Sloan Frost decided not to park up there and then park his bike up and ride. He said it was overheating. So what will we see this year round as we look out onto the grid? And in pole position.
Where's Sloan?
Where's Sloan now? No Sloan Frost either.
No, don't think he's there. So the Whanganui Auto Wreckers Robert Holden Memorial minus Sloan. And I'll tell you what, there is a bigger picture, and the bigger picture is the fact that last year he just won the Suzuki Series and had a national championship knocking on the doorstep, of which he went on to win. He just hasn't quite won the Suzuki Series here, but in fact still that bigger carrot of the New Zealand Superbike Road Race Championships, which kicks off at Ruapuna at the Mike Pero Motorsport Park with the Mike Pero sponsored opening round in just 2 weeks' time. So we're all heading to Ruapuna. Hope to see you down there. If not, in fact, get on to mxt.co.nz with your phone. Don't need an app. You don't need an app, folks. You just need your Safari or your Google Chrome, anything like that, to go to mxt.co.nz and follow the New Zealand road racing coming up over 4 great weekends of this Super Summer to come of road racing as we kick it off and head into the whole shot. And it is Scott Moyer. Moyer looking good. Moyer on the inside. Scott Moyer to take the advantage. The flying number 4 out of Taupo on the Penny Holmes, Suzuki New Zealand Promoto, Pirelli, iPhone and EBC supported Suzuki GSXR 1000. Storms in the front, 11 and behind him, then back to the H of Horsager as Horse starts to put the pressure on, loving it there on the green bike, getting it all fired up. A very good third place at the moment. Suzuki, Honda and Kawasaki for the manufacturer's glory as they head towards Robert Holden on this opening lap. Remembering this is a 10 lap of the longest race of the day in honour of the man who passed away 20 years ago this year. And make sure you've got your souvenir legendary collection Robert Holden t-shirt marking it here today. Spider, what a great way to remember Robert Holden today.
Oh, definitely. We saw a bit of argy-bargy going into turn 1. I think Scotty Moyer went over and bumped into Tony Rees. Right now he's got 3 to 4 bike lifts. Watch for Horsager, he gets faster later in the race. He's had some not gone as well as I'd hoped this year so far, but right now he's sitting there in 3rd place. He wants his name on that Robert Holden Memorial Trophy. He wants to shake Bet Holden's hand today and maybe get a kiss from him as well. So, but all these guys do as well. Right now the gap is tightened up between 1st and 2nd. It is Scotty Moyer with Tony Rees right there on him. Only
13 starters I've counted up there as well, Spider. Only 13 started out of the 25. So again, we haven't got a big enough carrot, even though there's more prize money.
Big overshoot there for Scotty Moyer. Sorry there, Neil. A big overshoot for Scotty Moyer there. He lost out the front end going into Roberts Island there and set it up and went straight ahead. And Tony Rees has now been gifted the lead with Horsager there in 2nd place. We go back. Scotty Moyer still in 3rd. It is 34 Dan Menem, 22 is Toby Summers, and 28 Shane Richardson, the first of the smaller bikes. Remember one year we had Great Sheriff's one on a 600 here. It was just absolutely scintillating watch him.
Johan Bruns.
Yeah, that was when they had the 3x3.
Yep.
And that was in the wet and a lot of the big runners pulled out. But Craig Sheriff's also won this race by overshooting turn 1. So maybe there's something in it for Scotty Moyer. Maybe he can come back. But right now it's the Red Devil Racing. Kawasaki Metzler shod bike being chasing Tony Rees on the Pirelli shod bike.
And we're all on at the moment, so it's Tony Rees and Horsager. He's got a smell of something. He knows he can do it. He's got better as the day gone on. He'd love him being back here at Whanganui. A whole different circuit for him, of course, compared to what he's used to, like the Isle of Man, where he'll be competing again next year. So 11 to go with age. Tony Rees, Horsager, a combined age of over 90 for these two guys put together. But I tell you what, loving every bit of it as we check out the 5 of Demon Damo. And Brother Mitch back here at the moment into 12th place. In fact, we've put local man Jason Bardell back into 13th place. So a fine performance by these guys. With the money going further back, they should get some credits. In fact, make that a 12th place at the moment, because we don't see Shane Richardson showing up on the results here at the moment. So Shane... I
think he was in 6th place behind Toby Summers. There, I think I saw the 28 bike with the Kawasaki leathers, but we'll have to look out. They're going into Roberts Island at the moment. Tony Rees leads by maybe 8 bike lengths. Horsager right on his tail on the Red Devil Racing. Metzler Shod Machine and Scotty Moyer there in 3rd place. They're coming towards the overhead bridge at the moment. Rees has got maybe 10 bike lengths, 12 bike lengths. There we go. There is Toby Summers, Damon Rees. That's Ray Clee there, Ray Clee up there. So no, I can't see Shane Richardson. Jaden Carrick ahead of Jamie Maindonald there. So there's 94 Mitch Rees. There's other bikes on there. So no Shane Richardson.
Indeed, that was a hiccup we picked up on the last one. So somebody was missing in there. A bit of confusion, because we thought for a minute that 22 was actually the 28, but the 22 clearly on his own is the outstanding Barnes Jenkins Insurance Brokers supported R&R Power Sport Kawasaki ZX10R with the incredible flying Toby Summers on board back in that 5th place. So it is Tony Rees, Horsager, Scott Moyer, Daniel Medham, Toby Summers, Damon Rees, Ray Clee. So Damon now in front with the F2 lineup in this class, and hopefully I think there is some bonus prize money for the best F2 performance out there in the Robert Holden feature, being led by his favourite father. I think it's his only father actually, but anyway, we'll call him his favourite father, Mr. Sir Tony Rees, out in front at the moment with the horse putting the pressure on. And there was horse. I think when we saw Scott Moyer have that side mistake, it almost gave a bit of an adrenaline pump for Horst at the moment, and he's tried to run with him, but all of a sudden I think he just drops back in fraction, Spider.
Yeah, certainly. I'll tell you what, with lap record hunting, the overall lap record here is a 49.061. The Robert Holden Memorial lap record a 49.081. Right now, Tony is a 49.247, and that isn't his quickest lap. He went down lower into the 49.2s. 49.419 for Horse Tiger. So Tony is opening up the gap there. We had a gap on the last lap of 0.564 of a second. It is opening up. We're looking out there. In fact, we look on the screen there. Yes, here we go. Tony Rees. I'd say that gap's closed up there. The Honda Rider Insurance CBR 1000RR with Horse Tiger there in second place, and already Horse Tiger has dropped it in the 49.082, so 1,000th of a second off the lap record for the Robert Holden Memorial. Horse Tiger is on fire. We've got 4 laps to go of a 12-lap race here at the Cemetery Circuit for the biggest race of the year in my mind in New Zealand road racing.
You've got to look out for the number 94 at the moment. Keep your eyes on Mitch Reed. You've got an awesome trio of riders in there. Jaden Carrot, Go Whanganui for Whanganui Well Drillers and Whanganui Joyetta. Rogan Chandler and Mitch Rees. Mitch Rees has gone up into that 10th place at the moment, the best he's been in the race. Now he wants a taste of Chandler and Carrick right there in front of him. The man who's on debut. Have we had a top 10 finisher before, Spider, that has been a debut, a virgin, a first timer here at Whanganui? What an outstanding effort for the Rees family.
Apart from Stan Stoper, who picked number one there.
Yes.
No, Horse Tiger was second in the Robert Holden for his first year, I think, 2 years ago. Right now, how many laps are there? We've got 3 laps to go. And Tony Rees is up the ante. He's the quickest man on the track. And he has set a new lap record, 49.052. And that is not only a new lap record for the Robert Holden Memorial, it's a new outright lap record for Formula One as well. 49.061, 49.052 for Tony Rees. This man is going for a 6th Robert Holden win, his 7th overall big win at Whanganui. And of course, we saw him in the 1990 meeting clean up in the Superbike class as well, the Formula One class there, but those don't count for the.
You said before earlier, Spider, today was a good day for lap records. What was your last track temperature you took out there? About 15 degrees colder than last year, so more traction.
42 degrees, yeah. Here comes Tony Rees. Horse Tiger, we're looking out for Scotty Moyer. Scotty Moyer has been hunted down by Toby Summers. Toby Summers finished on the podium, I think, last year in the Robert Holden Memorial. May have got 4th, but Toby Summers is now hunting down that 3rd place for the final place on the podium. There's 3 bike lengths in it as they go into turn 1 here at the Cemetery Circuit. Looking out on the video screen, down the back straight, it is still number 11, Tony Rees. Can he make 6 wins out of 6 starts in 2 years at the Cemetery Circuit?
I'll tell you what, something's happened with Damon Rees. He's a long way back now, so Damon's lost a whole lot of his good work. So that is all unwound at the moment, so a long way back for Damon at the stage.
Oh, I thought Horse Tiger might be hunting down Tony. In fact, he's closed it up to maybe 4 bike lengths there. Maybe Horse Tiger's coming back there. Maybe he's going to ruin this Queen. He's coming round, looking round the outside. The pipe has never been so tight. The white flag goes out. Woo! Who's going to win the 2016 Robert Holden Memorial Trophy? 21 years since the first Robert Holden Memorial race here at the Cemetery Circuit. They haven't had him every year. We're going to go down onto Taupo Key. Turn 2, the bikes are going in there. Still 11, followed by Tony Rees pops a bit of a wheelie. Horse Tiger tries up on the inside maybe. Actually, Tony's opened it up there, maybe 4 to 5 bike lengths. It is the last 3 or 4 corners of the Robert Holden Memorial here for 2016. Who's your money on there, Neil Ritchie?
Well, still got to be Tony Rees. Tony wanted to do it. No, Horse
Tiger.
No. Oh, that was touching. I think they touched.
Yeah,
I think
they did. A bit of man touching.
You've got to be. It must have been a touch. I tell you what, I think Tony can hold on this one. Come on, Whanganui. Come alive, everybody. The greatest race, the new lap record. Tony Rees. And Tony Rees gets it. There it is. Tony to do it. The new lap record. 3 wins. He takes the title and the Robert Holden. The most winning Robert Holden rider in the young 20-year history of this legendary trophy, as we remember New Zealand's greatest ever international motorcycle racer and local hero, Robert Holden, long remembered. Make sure you've got your legendary 20th anniversary T-shirt today and get Tony Rees' signature on it as he wins the Robert Holden for a record time. And what about that from his boys as well? Demon Damo back there as well. Damon will end up back in 10th place, but I tell you what, Son Mitch has got in there as well in 8th place, an outstanding contribution to New Zealand road racing. Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki and Scott Moyer, Kawasaki, Toby Summers, Suzuki with Jamie Main Donald, Daniel Madden, Ray Clee in there, then back to Mitch Rees, Rogan Chandler. What a debut in 9th place from Damon Rees, a real offset there for Demon Damo, but still the first F2 rider to come home back there. And then, my apologies, no, Rogan pipped him. Rogan, of course, pipped him. Rogan Chandler from Damon Rees, Jason Jackson Bardell, Jaden Carrick, and unfortunately Shane Richardson. Whatever the incident, we lost him at a point during the race, but it was nothing to do with the yellow flag, so we hope only mechanical. So all is well, even though he didn't quite recover for the big one. But the most winning rider, and look at that, a lineup. Folks, if you want a photo extraordinaire, if you're down on the railway line at the moment by Suzuki, what an opportunity is the Rees family lineup and celebrating something unique in our history. There you go, Spider Staples. Not one, not two, but three of them. Sir Tony and Mitchell and Damon. Well done.
Hashtag Tony, what a great ride.
So Tony, how's that feel?
It's crazy. It was a good race, actually. Same as I said before, you never know who's behind you, no pit board. And it wasn't until I got to the Rose Garden. I actually came up to the Rose Gardens, up to Robert Holden Garden, corner, and I went, shit, I shouldn't leave the door open, there could be someone there. And sure enough, horse was there, and he dived up the inside. And I leaned on him, to be honest with you, because otherwise he was going to have it, you know. So
Before that, I saw you doing some blocking lines here and this corner and others.
I know they're not blocking, that's just my average riding style. No, it was good. Scotty's made a mistake, and good for me that I got ahead of him and didn't know where the rest of them were. Just put my head down. Probably not pushing as hard as you need to. If you knew someone was there, you maybe pull a little bit more out.
Yep. And you've got your sons here in the same race.
Oh yeah, whoever thought that would happen, eh? Back in 1992, they weren't even thought of.
So we can't wait till one of them starts beating you. And I'm looking at Damon over there, and he's won the Formula 2 series, I think. And
you know,
which is not bad.
Rather they beat me than anyone else.
Well, if you're going to beat anybody, you've got to beat your teammate first, Damon. So, Tony, well done. That's an excellent race, excellent performance, 3 out of 3. I'd like to see you back next year, personally. You know, anybody who wins a Robert Holden Memorial, you know, you've got to fight for it. You know that. That's the way Robert would want it. And well done.
Yeah, thank you. It's always an honour to win this one. And it's one that people want to win for sure, you know. And hey, it's just a fantastic place to come on Boxing Day, isn't it? To come and ride a motorbike. So it's a cool little circuit.
Okay, we've got a little sidecar race coming up, so I'll let you guys go. Thank you, Damon and Mitch and Tony Rees. Give them a clap.
From Tony Rees, because of anybody that he wanted to buy a bike from, he'd buy one from a man he respected and admired. So there you go. If Craig Shearis does that from the Manawatu, you can as well, folks. So just another example of this man's ambassadorial excellence.
And talking to Craig yesterday, I says, you know, you're poised to move down to third. And he said, I hope Tony gets it. He says he's a legend.
Yeah. And so he was too, and never to be forgotten. And of course, his third, now that he's got it, it's going to be a long endeavour before anybody takes that from him. That's a big gap back to 4th place in their Spider, so look out for it. All right, the world of sidecars and that unfortunate run today with Tim Reeves and breaking the side chair after practice session today, and we're along with Mark Wilkes. And Mark was neat to shake his hand here today. The last time we saw him, of course, he had a neck and a halo bracelet. He'd given himself a very severe shock. In fact, there was a serious neck injury that had to disabilitate his neck. So in fact, when he talked, he had to move his whole shoulders and his whole body, and it was one of those times where you say, mate, that was so lucky. And to have him back here cheering, smiling, laughing today was certainly something special. But bad luck to Mark and Tim, unfortunately not able to make it to the racetrack, but the good news is we've already heard they will be here next year. Bring it on.
Oh wow, and it's a 7 times world champion, Tim Rees, so that shows you how well respected around the world that the cemetery circuit is. Out right now, out in the front out of Roberts Island, we've got Adam Unsworth and Stu Dawes. I see Stu waving to the crowd on the lovely bike. Had a massive crash at Taupo, and wow, seen some spectacular sidecar crashes. That's got to take the cake there for a while there. Here they are, the overhead bridge there. John Holden in second with Robbie Shorter doing the swinging, and it is Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan there in 3rd place. They're being hounded by Mobility Bastard and by rapper Spike Taylor with Craig Pedersen doing the swing, and that's a yellow bike in 5th place. That'll be the first of the Formula 2 bikes. 84, Corey Winter with Kyron Whittam there on the doing the swinging, nephew of legend Ray Whittam, the commentator here for so many years at Whanganui. So yeah, they're there in 5th place, I should say, as they go through there. Who's out there in 6th? Can't quite see. In fact, they're quite a way back there. A bike number 11. I don't have a number 11. Oh, actually, there's 2 11s. No, it's not Chris and Richard Lawrence. I don't know who that bike is out there. Sorry. In fact, they didn't finished the last race, so we'll try and have a check-up. It's not on our list here. So right now, the three sidecars, the three Lee sidecars, all tightly packed coming into the overhead bridge for the Quality Inn Whanganui sidecar class there. And something flies off, and maybe a bit of glad wrap or something, maybe. That's not off one of the bikes, but enough to distract the rider. Can John Holden on the 600cc machine get through into first place? Twice Isle of Man TT winner this year. Come over to New Zealand for the Suzuki Series. Went off to Fiji for his honeymoon with the fastest ever woman around the TT, Fiona Baker Milligan, as well, and come back to Whanganui. Can he get through there? 1000cc versus 600cc. Mate, I think this is going to be so close. But meanwhile, we've got third place there. Barry Smith absolutely flying with local legend, former local legend, still a legend, Tracy Bryan doing the swinger. What a nice ass round Robert Holden's corner, I could see.
Well, indeed, we're all on here at the moment, so keen to watch the update. And I'll tell you what, those two F2 machines, well, when we say F2, they're powered by 600cc engines and not by the 1000s or 1100s that the other big bikes are. So it's 12 in front, then the F2 bikes. Jay, 73, back to 17 then for Spark. We've, of course, got Astrid Hartnell, usual swinger for Spike. She's taking a break at the moment, and it's all on with Greg at the moment. So Greg's the swinger. And man, was that guy ever excited about his podium finish at Manfield a few weeks ago. We've lost the swinger there. So, no swinger on that one. We'll get that machine off the track. Notice when it came around the corner, it was all out of shape, and you can see why as he pulls up. To, just unsure if we've got many shots around the track where we can see that the swinger is gone, but I think it's the number 70, no, not 73. Maybe is that 76, Bruce or Jim? Unsure, but minus the swinger out there as we go back to the front.
No, it's not Bruce and Jim, definitely. They were on a short bike. This was a long bike, but it was a bright blue bike. So right now, coming into the Toyota corner, it is still two lead bikes up, broken away from third and fourth. It is 1000cc. Number 12, Adam Unsworth, Stu Dorr, both former locals. John Holden with Robbie Shorter there in close contention for second. 73 goes through there. Barry Smith, Tracy Bryan with Spike Taylor getting it a bit tidier this time on the overhead bridge where he hit the curb last time and bumped his passenger Craig Pedersen out of the box seat a little bit. So Corey Winter, not Tim Shepherd, Kyron Whittam, we're looking at the first. Here's this guy.
13,
he needs to be black flag, number 11, the guy we didn't know who it was. He doesn't know he's lost his passenger. 92 Ian Staples and Jamie O'Donnell sitting there. This guy doesn't know he's lost his passenger. All right, the Lawrence brothers up on the inside of my brother there on the 11 machine. Their 22nd year here, so I think they need the black flag out there for number 11 with waving there. They didn't. Yes, there's the black flag coming out, but we're looking at the Toyota corner there. The two lead bikes, just three sidecar leagues separating them in the the Quality Inn Formula One sidecars here. Adam Unsworth and Stu Dawes are both great mates of Michael Hoss, the owner of it, and have been sponsored before by him, but flying down the front straight, place 3 there, 73 has got a bit of a breakaway over and above 17. Spike Taylor, about 3 times New Zealand champion over the year and had wins here at Whanganui as well. Great showing from his passenger to hang on to a bike when he stepped up a level. That's that bike, it's gone off at Toyota, so that's all right, they're out of the way. So you can pull the black flag in down there on the start-finish line. Actually, they're listening to me for a change. Here's my brother, Ian Staples. Last time he rode at Whanganui, he's back in about 1990. I remember I was leading the race, I looked over my shoulder. He was in second spot, had 3 wins. We had 3 wins as a team in the 1990 Midwinter Cemetery Circuit races. He's there up into 2, 4, 6th place. Now, this is not a competitive sidecar, and this is their first season out, just 3 meetings under the belt plus a couple of practice days. We're coming across lappers there. It is the number 13, Matt Peters, and Doug Corns. You know, Doug Corns, a very, very famous photographer, and that might have given the break there to the lead bike there. John Holden gets stuck in he gets stuck in behind that bike. That might be the moment that the race has just been called almost there as we see 2 laps to go. Looking down to Taupo Key, and definitely number 12, Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr. Adam got a new helmet after he scratched his helmet rolling over at Taupo. There they are, they're flying. They don't have any pit boards out there. They won't have anyone showing them the distance between them. So John Holden is back off the pace there. Not off the pace, just off book. We see the other 2 bikes go through and into second place, in the inside of that lapper there. So all good there. Toyota corner there, and it is still Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr on the Vince Stir prepared machine. They must have done a lot of work to get this thing back on after rolling over at Taupo. 67 comes through. That bike is for sale, people, if you need anything. Here we go. John Holden's got the pip down. Oh, there is the checkered flag. Wow, the checkered flag for Adam Unsworth and Stu Dorr. So they They move up all times from 6 wins to 8 wins, 10 seconds for Stu.
And Spike's just pipped him, by the way. Spider down here, Spike Taylor. Spike on the run down the straight. He's just pipped Barry. So there it is, the change down there. The number 17, they got the break out of the corner. They got the drive through there. He knew he could do it with a run down the straight. So well done to Spike. The margin between them, absolutely zero. The gap, by the way, was .004. 4 1,000ths of a second when they crossed the line. I still thought it was Barry, but that was the fact that he'd just been in front. The transponder picks up the correct story. So there you go. So the number 17, Spike Taylor, and Swinger Greg, unfortunately still written down with Astrid in the program on the mobility wire wrapper. Whitelock Suzuki, colour code Venom sign supported LCR GSXR 1000 powered unit have powered their way home into third place, pipping the F2 unit of Taurong's Barry Smith and Tracy Bryan back into fourth place on their Carl Cox Motorsport Suzuki F2 powered unit, courtesy of Motor City and MC2 Racing. An exceptional effort by Barry, but no substitute for horsepower, as our letter J, John Holden and Robbie Shorter found out with the incredible Adam Unsworth, Stu Dorr, Spider. You wouldn't have seen it at Taupo, but to see a sidecar balanced up on its side.
I saw the photographs. It was incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, news is that from 56 on the overall winners list, Adams Unsworth moved up to pip Simon Crafer in 35th spot. So that's 8 wins, 10 seconds and 5 third place. Stu Dawes has had 8 wins, 7 seconds and 4 third places. So he'll be up around Scotty Moyer.
Great history, great recollection there. Thank you to Spider Star. Oh, here's the number 11. Getting a bit of support after firing up the unit. Did the right thing to finally pull out of the race, but went on a little bit too long without having a swinger on board. Unsure of how that happened completely. Surely wouldn't have started the race without one. Didn't see any signs of a swinger out on the track or any sign of a yellow flag, but hey, not the thing to be doing in race etiquette. But there we have it. And over to you, Terry.
Okay. Adam, hey mate. That's surprising, but not really surprising, because you've won a lot here. But after I took those photos of you upside down in practice at Taupo, you know, you guys, both of you, have come back very well. You know, you're top of your game again, even though you're still injured.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully we've made amends for the team and the sponsors. You know, we made a bit of a faux pas at Taupo and tipped it upside down, like you said. So, no, it was really good to come here, you know. Pretty sore, but from our injuries. But hey, look, we totally came here and just thought we'd do our best. And it's a little bit unexpected, but it's pleasant expectation.
And Stu, you've still got an injured arm, so how the hell do you hang on?
Yeah, we gave Manfield a miss because we're quite sore and the outfit was a little beat up, so we took a bit of time out and repaired that. But we always wanted to come back to Whanganui because we love the place. And put a good crowd on for the people here. I'd like to thank Robbie and John, Tim and Mark for coming out. Unfortunately, they've had a bit of a problem this morning, but hopefully we'll like to see them back next year. And yeah,
well done, guys. I'll just move on to John Holden and Robbie Shorter. John, I think you may have won the title.
I think we might have.
I haven't seen any points or heard anything.
No, I would think so, because Barry and Tracy were behind us, so I think that was good.
Yep. So you tried to make a couple of passes. I saw that one at Robert Holden, and that probably cost you the race. You didn't have your timing right.
No, I just tried. This thing's so fast in a straight line. Only thing I can do is jam it up in the inside on brakes, and I do it a little bit quicker through this section here, and I could just go up but no, he's a hard rider.
We got to get going. Robbie, how do you hang on with a guy of this calibre?
It's pretty easy when you're on with someone that smooth. He's just fantastic. I can't say enough. I've just pinched myself and I'm going to go and drink some beer with him tonight.
Yeah, well done, fellas, and thanks for coming up to New Zealand. And we enjoy your racing.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you all, you Kiwis. Loved it.
Cheers.
Get a split second fast, because what's the definition of a split second, folks? .004. I'll tell you what, taking a breath will take you much longer than that. So that is shortness of time like you've seen no other. So great finale. All right, 2 to go now with classic solos and classic sidecars. And they, of course, are only at this event and not at Taupo or Manfield, so we don't accumulate points. It's just a special one-off. 43, Mr. Dan Nicholson from Highway Tyres. His little tyre business, he's running at Aotearoa on State Highway 1 up there between Taupo and Tokoroa. So when you're going past or you're in the area, you want some tyres, you go and support the local man who puts all his money back into his lovely wife and brand new baby and this lovely little beast. He's got an old classic Honda from the 60s that he's wanting to get into road racing with. So Dan Nicholson's his name, all-round good sport. You can get him behind him as well. So here we go with our ABK, your advanced building comfort, your refrigeration, electrical and air conditioning engineers at 205 Guyton Street. Proud to be sponsoring our classic solos, courtesy of ABK. Coming at you next. 2 races left to go as we get another all clear. Clerk of the course, Mr. Chris Costello, a life member of the Auckland Motorcycle Club, www.cemeterycircuit.co.nz. Christopher, of course, will be running the final leg of the New Zealand NZSBK Superbike Road Racing Championships at Hampton Downs, coming up on the 4th and 5th of March next year. The final round of the 4-round championship as we get away with the final round of this 2-round championship. Here today, leg 1 and into leg 2, Vince Burrell along with Rogan Chandler, David Hall, Mark Hall, Jamie Galway, Colin Tate, just some of the heroes that we're about to see in action. But I tell you what, the 355 has been exceptional to watch. If Rogan Chandler, can he do it again? This young 19-year-old that's already writing his name in the history books, and I'm sure is going to go a long way to doing it again as we look at the update. Yes, he is out in front, 355 for Rogan. Get him behind the 19-year-old from Wellington. Tell you what, over the years, Spider, put the name Robert Holden into it, but many others along the way. Wellington riders have done extremely well here at the Cemetery Circuit overall. I know there's a great legacy of riders to come from that part of the country, but they just seem well suited to what's happened here at Whanganui. Is that a coincidence or just a number of good riders? What do you put it down to?
Just a number of good riders, I guess, but we've seen Jason McEwen, of course. We've seen he's had several wins. Tony Rees, Brian Motard won the big race at Gisborne. All over the place. And right now, Rogan Chandler's got a good lead there on the Jared Dobson prepared and owned machine with Vince Burrell on the Motor Guzzi in second place. David Hall and Mark Halls, that's third and fourth. David Hall on the 28 machine and Mark Halls on the 69 machine. I think Mark Halls has had a couple of wins around here from memory when I was doing the statistics the other day, but it's not going to be his day today. As we see, I think, well, something went wrong with Rogan Chandler because Vince Burrell's dived into the lead. In fact, there's something worse. He's gone down to third place. So he's struggling with his machine, and already we see David Hall's going into second place. So whether it's a misgear, whether it's a couple of misgears, we don't know, as we see Colin Tate, 101, the Whanganui man, coming into the S's there. Go up to Robert Island, Vince Burrell there. Can he get his first win at Whanganui? Went to the Burt Munro Challenge, did all the races down there, and went to the Southern Classic Festival there. The man that's running the Central Sound of Thunder in early April just gets faster and faster on this 203 Motor Guzzi. David Hall's in second place there on the 28 machine. Rogan Chandler seemed to have recovered from whatever caught him out down the back straight, and right now he's looking up and to get into second place. He goes in there. Yep, he outbrakes David Hall and into second place. I'd say David Hall bike's probably got drum brakes, whereas Rogan Chandler's will have discs, being an early Norton Commando. That's how I figure it, of course, the riding. So can Rogan Chandler get back into the lead? There's now 4, maybe 5 bike links in. There's a go off Taupo Key into the Suzuki corner, Neil Ritchie.
I wonder if it was a misgear or something like that, Spider, because that was when they were coming towards us. He looked like the handbrake was on. With since then, there's nothing mechanically wrong with the bike, so maybe just a rider error for a young man on a bike. May have got used to, forgotten the configuration of the bike compared to a more modern one. Mate, just having a guess in it, because why would you then be down in a distant third to fight back and already be in second place? So just one of the ideas that he maybe he's just done it to make some excitement for us, Spider, because he's given Vince something to really race for out in front of the moment. 203 for Vince Burrell, along with 355 Rogan Chandler. 28 then with David Hall. What about the 69 out there of Mark Halls as well? That's Hall compared to Hall, so no relation there. With the 101 of local man Colin Tate on, of course, is Tate Engineering bike, the 101. Colin loves that Norton Manx. He takes it all around the country courtesy of McDonald Equipment and Tate Engineering. Whether it be the Burt Munro or the Southern Classic, goes all the way from Whanganui here, his hometown, to take that event to great classic races all around the country. So bring it on with Colin Tate. And he's got more than one in his stable, and as well now he's got his daughter racing as well, which is
Melissa's been out there, and I remember funny a couple of years ago at the prize giving, she sat on this chair and it made farts all night, and I think everybody wanted to go and listen to those trouser coughs. I hope it was a chair. Sorry, Melissa. Lovely to see you out on a bike, but right now the bike's coming out of Toyota. There's no calling it at the moment. It is 203 Vince Burrell by about 8 bike lengths. In fact, no, I said 8 bike lengths. What I couldn't see was Rogan Chandler amongst that. Rogan Chandler he's going down the inside line. Can he get into the lead there? The white flag's yet to come out. There it is, Rogan Chandler in the lead into turn 1, but also David Halls is backed up onto Vince Burrell. I'm going to pick maybe David Halls to come through and get a second spot here. 750cc out in the front. That's a 500 Dominator, I think, in third place with Vince Burrell on the 1000cc Guzzi.
So there we go, Vince Burrell.
Whoa, big moment there. banging into a lapper there. Unfortunately, that was Bob Northrop, and that's put Rogan Chandler down second. Unfortunately,
or maybe even third.
Yeah, no, maybe even third. That was a moment. I don't know how they got away with that. So banging into a lapper, maybe got a bit more cautious next time round. That was just one of those racing incidents, I'm sure, but they're all up and all right now. They all go around. They're coming on to tighter, and it's Vince Burrell in the lead. Can Rogan Chandler come back from this?
Here we go, out in front, 203 for Vince Burrell. Look at that for Rogan. Rogan looking to get around the outside. Now take the run for the outside. David Hall right there to keep him honest. Now the white flag for 1 lap to go. Here we are in the ABK, your advanced building comfort courtesy of Refrigeration, Electrical and Engineers. And here we go as we look out for it at the moment. And still the 355 out in front. Rogan Chandler to hold on to it from Vince Burrell. Went into the lead, and look out for David Hall. David Hall maybe trying to get up there into that second place. No, there's the freight train. Chandler, Burrell, and back to 28 David Hall for the update at the moment. Spider, I think that's where they're probably going to finish up. But I tell you what, 355, he hasn't given us any kind of race. He's given us an up and down performance like a roller coaster. 355, the 19-year-old from Wellington, Rogan Chandler. I tell you what, by the time he was born, the Norton company had probably been in debt 2 times over at that stage. They'd already lost $2 billion, but here it is. The Norton name continues with this young pilot on board, and here we go with our final hurrah. 355 Rogan Chandler, 203 Vince Burrell, and the 28 of David Hall getting a beautiful run round the corner, but couldn't quite get the slingshot to launch himself up into third place. So there you go, Classic Solos, ABK, and a top win to Rogan Chandler, Vince Burrell, David Hall. Back to Mark Halls in fourth place then to our local man 101 and Colin Tate, courtesy of Tate Engineering and McDonald Equipment. Pushed along then by Jason Rees, who, as Spider pointed out before, has been to events here in the past and been in 3 different races. The 131 out there as well, something to listen to because it's a bit of a sound unique on its own. Is another 2-stroke classic, and keen to find out more about that one. I haven't called much of Doug today, but Bill's been out there, the 141, and that 43, another change in our class with us from the 43 of formerly in the post-classic lineup.
Okay, I'm down here with Rogan Chandler. Rogan, you're 19 years old?
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this racing thing?
For about 5 years now.
Yeah. Where did you start, in the classics or more modern bikes?
I started on a RG 150 at the Victoria Winter Series.
Okay, and so you're just moving up. So you ride that Triumph pretty well too, don't you?
Yeah, we've had pretty good luck today and got some pretty good finishes. So it's a bit difficult riding 2 bikes sometimes, but we've made it work. So.
And I saw that guy that you almost hit. You probably don't realise, but that's one of the gods of motorcycling, Bob Northrop. He's come back. He ran New Zealand Motorcycle News for many years.
Yeah, well, I'm actually pitted with him, so I might get a little punch in the head when I get back to the pits. So. Yeah.
Just get him to buy you a beer.
Yeah, sounds good.
At
right,
19.
Thank you very much, Rogan Chandler. Off you go.
Hey, I've got a shout out to Terry Stevenson. The program is absolutely...
Here, Spider, never go up. Yes, indeed. Robert Hood and Mark Thompson from where else but Whanganui on the Norton Commando, R&R Performance Engineering, McDonald Equipment, Trade Zone, Tom Ditchfield, Panel Beaters, Midwest Motorcycles and the Door Shop. Proud to be behind there at Norton Commando as this brilliant machinery files it together here. The brother and sister combination, Brian Stent and Tracy Bryan. Look at that. Would you marry and have a surname of Bryan, which is the Christian name of your brother? So it's the Brian and Bryan show out there, folks.
We got two brother and sister, sorry to interrupt. We got 2 brother and sister teams here. Artie Roberts and Deirdre Roberts there on the 241 machine, and their father is not Charlie Bilby, he's Jim Bilby on the 244 machine. So great to see them out there. So yeah, certainly
Bruce Roberts.
Bruce Roberts is the rider. Sorry, Bruce Roberts and Jim Bilby. Bruce Roberts is the father of 241. Artie and Deirdre Roberts.
So there you go, out of Kimbolton, do you geography right, one of your favourite motorcycle roads of the North Island, folks. It used to be called State Highway 54, but they stole it off as State Highway status, and they've now got it another road. But anyway, you get the idea. Turn off on State Highway 1 at the great town of Whanganui, where I lived for a number of years, or a number of months, I should say. Great town up there, right underneath the plain. Turn off there and make your way right down through into the Manawatu. Beautiful motorcycle highway, and you'll come across a great place called Kimbolton, and that's where the Roberts family lives. So you'll love it up there, and you can take a detour and whip out to Whanganui or go the other way up into Apity. Beautiful motorcycle heaven if you're not a motorcyclist in the North Island till you've done those roads. And heading through, of course, you can take the detour as well and turn off at Cheltenham and go out through to Waituna West and come out at State Highway 1 at a place called Vinegar Hill. Another paradise for motorcycle, road riding, adventure riding, street riding, sport ride it, call it what you like. It's tar seal and it's twisty and it turns and it's a whole lot of fun. And they're part of New Zealand or North Island's great motorcycle roads. Here we are, classic sidecars, courtesy of Ignition Motor Group, and looking forward to the boys out in front oh so quick. There's a lead and over 351 and powering their way through again. The Bryan Show, Brian Stent and Tracy Bryan out of Whanganui leading the field at the moment. Looking back then to Robert Hood and Mark Thompson on the 850 ahead of Jason Rees, Bryce Rose on that 192. The Norton powered machine courtesy of Rees Engineering. And hello, round.
Big overshoot there for Robert Hood and Mark Thompson at the turn 1 there, so no chance of them taking a race winner. Hey, I got a shout out to the policeman that saw me on the side of the road last night and said, you need a ride home. And I says, maybe Anna's sniffer dogs, not for sniffing out the half a cooked chicken I had under my jacket there. So I won't even tell you who the policeman was because
he's a nice guy.
Oh, an absolute legendary guy. Great ride home, thank you. Got a taxi back this morning, so thanks, mate. I know he's coming here to watch that. And a great crowd today. No, I haven't seen some of the argy-bargy we've seen over the years. Yeah. Maybe it's a lower temperature. Maybe most of them are in jail.
Spider. Here we go. Yes, indeed. Check it out. 351. There we go. The Bryan Show back in town. Look at that. All okay signals between them, mentioning that everything's okay. 192 to get back there now with Jason Rees moving up into second place. The 850, they might have done the overshoot. They're back into third place. It's a distant third runner there. The R&R Engineering, Norton Power Machine up there at 850. Robert Hood and Mark Thompson in a very good third place now. It is more distant, but it is still a third, whichever way you look at it. As we then go back to Pete Dowman. Now, Pete Dowman, what a story he's got to tell. He went all the way to the Burt. He also went to the Southern Classic, and a man who's had a go with some ex-motocross from Whanganui and a bit of VMX now, vintage motocross, and here he is coming back to sidecar racing. So 2 wheels tar seal, 2 wheels knobbly, back to tar seal, and now on some slicks.
Yeah, and Brian Greenless doing the passion. They had a crash here in practice last year, hit the wall there coming out of Suzuki S's in the practice, and it was great to see them have a win at the Invercargill street races on the Yamaha 600. So, hello, we got problems for the lead bike, 351.
Oh.
Problems to the lead bike. They're looking over, putting their hand up. So this is going to give the lead to Whanganui's Jason Rees and Bryce Rose. So the 351 machine pulling over on the side. They haven't even made it the overhead bridge. So all of a sudden, too, the Norton 850 Commando in second place. Robert Hood and Mark Thompson, who had the big overshoot, are going to go for second place. I bet they'll be hoping that front bike breaks down. No, they won't. They just want to win it fairly and squarely. But not much chance of that. 250, the Yamaha in third place, followed by Bruce Roberts and Jim Bilby there. And I think that's Neville Mickelson doing the swinging, riding on the 266 machine. Don't know who's in the passenger seat. There's Deirdre doing the swinging for brother Artie Roberts there on the 241 Triumph from Kimbolton there, not far from what Neil said it.
Fielding, that's the closest city, isn't it? Manfield's the closest track.
Yeah. Don't forget to get the prize giving tonight. I'll be there. I'm going to do my magical trick, turn a few jugs of beer into urine and have a good night. But it should be a good night at the race course. You want to see your heroes, you want to talk to your heroes, get along to that prize giving. Here we have the race leader coming towards the overhead bridge. We've got 3 laps to go in the final race of the 2016 both the Cemetery Circuit and of course the Suzuki Series. Thank you very much to Suzuki for your support behind motorcycle racing. I think the most important moment for me when Suzuki put on the Grand Prix on free-to-air TV about 3-4 seasons ago, and there wasn't even a Suzuki on the field.
Yeah.
And that tells you that Suzuki are great sportsmen. It's great to see your home at Suzuki New Zealand in Whanganui and them putting their money and their support with the guys like getting Dunlop and a few of the other guys out there, Guy Martin over the years. So thank you very much, Suzuki New Zealand. I turned up to open the gate. Well, the boss turned up to open the gate yesterday. He says, nice class. I said, Kawasaki Green. He said, well, you can stay out of here. But we had a bit of a chuckle, and that was Simon Mead. So here we go. We're looking into coming out of the S's there and into Roberts Island. 192. Jason Rees and Bryce Rose on the Rees Engineering sponsored Norton. Not much Norton internals in these days. They're pretty hot inside. So they're coming towards the overhead bridge. I'll get the white flag out for this lap. Looking off in the distance, Mark Thompson doing the swinging for Robert Hood on the door shop sponsored Midwest Motorcycles, Tom Dittrill panel beaters and McDonald Equipment Trade Zone supported machine. There we go. There'll be a bit of noise, there'll be a bit of hold under the collar, but the white flag is out. We've just got 3/4 of a lap to do for the lead bike, 192, Jason Rees and Bryce Rose.
Well, here we go, building up to our finale, courtesy of Ignition Motor Group, our classic sidecars. What a great crowd that stayed here till the end, folks. And look at this, the time at the moment, unbelievable. You as supporters here today, folks. And look at that, we're not quite 4:30, and we've come to race number 19. It took us a long way to get to race number 9 when we were only about halfway through the day. Add the Robert Holden into the 9 legs to make it an 11-leg final. That's the 19 races in total, and we've just rocked through this final run. We had a brilliant practice and qualifier. Then we had, unfortunately, 3 riders in the ambulance within the first one race and 1 lap, and thought, wow, what a bad way to start the day. And since then, touch wood, it's been absolutely to perfection. And as Lawrence, our 59-year veteran, as a spectator here, had said what he has noticed the most over the years is a very slick and professional running. And I can tell you, having been to the meeting on this last Monday night, just how good this team is for Cemetery Circuit. Totally dedicated. And my shout out goes to a Crash pickup man, Mr. Murray Palmer, who's been a key man here for over 30 years, but with a bung knee and a bad back. He said, I can't do this any longer. So I've said, we'll see you as a spectator in your wheelchair next year, Murray. But he brings a smile, he brings that positive attitude. He's just another one of the all-round good guys. So well done, Eddie. Those boys are delighted, Spider. That's something special.
That's their first one. They've had a 2nd and 2/3 here.
Here we go.
Speaking of sidecars and legends, Vince Keats out here. It's over 50 years, I think, since he first started scrutineering the sidecars.
Oh, wow.
And still out there, wears his hot overalls in case he has to go back. He can only relax now after the first sidecar race of the day because he's got a re-scrutineer bike. So Vince Keats and his wife Leslie, thanks you all for support over the years. Wow, look at that. Jason Rees, Bryce Rose, a 1:00.213, not quite under the magic minute mark. So yeah, that's it. Thanks, folks. Thank you, Neil Ritchie. Thank you, Terry Stevenson. Thank you, Flea Willisey, and all your crew for a great cemetery circuit. And thanks for the weather gods. And tonight, the beer gods.
Thank you to Lawrence for joining us as our special guest here. 59 years. Look forward to seeing you for number 60 next year. 60 years as a spectator here. Absolutely incredible. And it's not as if he's a local. He just loves coming back to Whanganui. He's New Zealand's favourite, Wanganui's favourite visitor. We'll call you, Lawrence. So well done. Thanks for being part of it. Thank you to our sponsors. We cannot, I repeat, cannot do it without you. So thank you indeed as we acknowledge sponsors like H&A Print, our program printer extraordinaire. Pyro Battle of the Streets coming up on Sunday, the 19th of February. Along with, of course, Hello World, your travel agent specialising in the 2017 Isle of Man, MotoGP, Super Cheap Autos, Bathurst 1000, Gold Coast 600, Indy 500, NASCAR, MotoGP Worldwide, or the Goodwood Festival as well. Check it out, Hello World on Trafalgar Square. Your number 1 team, KSS, Kiwi Suspension Solutions, and their Olin New Zealand distributors and Nitron, along with Race Tech. So good to see. Here we are. We've just heard, got the update, and we'll go across to Terry. So Terry, the sidecars at the finish.
Okay, I'm just over on Ray's corner. Jason Rees. You've won at home.
Yeah, it's been about 20-something years to get to this place, mate.
Well, you inherited that one, but you know you've got to earn it, and you did.
Yeah, we've been having troubles all day with the bike, so luck finally went our way, I suppose.
Yep. What year is your motor?
Well, we can't say.
Well, it's a top secret.
Oh, not really. It's just a replica motor.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yep. So, hey, well done. You kept it together. You got to fix the nose cone, spin dragging a little bit. Yep. Bryce?
Yeah, just wanted to say, Big Norm, we did it for you, bro. All the best, mate. Told you we would.
He'd love that. Now, I've got to ask this last question. Are you any relation to Tony Rees?
Oh, you have to ask Tony there. I think we're probably somewhere down the road.
All right.
Cemetery Circuit Road.
It's Rees' day today, so well done. And over to you, Neil. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry, and I'd just like to repeat those words of Spiders before. It's an honour to have you on board with us, mate. We've been missing out on some talent. It's your turn. You've taken it with your arms wide open and your mouth even further, so congratulations. It's an honour to have you on board. Thank you very, very much. Courtesy of Whanganui Towing and Whanganui Auto Wreckers, the Robert Holden sponsors today, along with McDonald Equipment.